first touchdown pass that you caught from Caleb today?
Yeah, just the play we've been working on since camp, really. And, they presented a good defense for it, released on it up the middle. Caleb put a good ball and was able to kind of run the dude over and then extend in there for the touchdown.
And then the second touchdown pass that you caught, it looked like it was man coverage. It looked like you got a rub route. Break down the second touchdown pass.
Yeah, it looked like it was man. I don't know if they dropped me or what. I'll take a look on the film, but just ran straight to the corner. Caleb could put a good ball, and we were able to put up 6 there.
Coach Eberflus talked about you guys playing clean. 2 offensive penalties today. Do you think that's the main reason why you guys have been able to flourish the past few weeks on offense? You guys have been clean in terms of not having a lot of penalties?
Yeah, I think that's been a focus for us, and that's something I think with our operation we can continue to get better at. But, we played pretty clean today, and we took advantage of the mistakes they made, and I think that's why you saw the scoreboard be what it is right now.
Caleb Williams threw for 4 touchdowns today. I know DJ Moore throughout the week, he characterized him as his development as being bossy, him taking over more leadership, being more vocal. What have you seen personally from the maturation of Caleb Williams?
Just his confidence level continues to rise, and it's been cool to see, and continues to make great plays down the field and make all the right run checks. He's been doing a much better job at that. So he gets us in the right stuff, and I'm just excited to see where he goes from here on out.
Last question for you, Cole. What has been the most memorable moment that you'll take away throughout your time in London?
I think just the time we all spent together as teammates, going down the city together and obviously hanging out where we were in the countryside and then getting the win here. So it's been a fun week all together, and definitely going to enjoy the bye week.
All right, Cole, thanks for your time. Enjoy the win. Here, back to Peggy and Yurko here in the booth.
No, we'll take it here at the stadium to wrap things up, and then we'll hand it off. Got some final thoughts with Tom, but the Bears get the win, 35-16. Caleb Williams, a big story, being interviewed nationally on NFL Network as we speak. J-Mac will interview him when he is free after the locker room session. But Bear rookie quarterbacks with 4 or more touchdown passes in a game. It only numbers 3. One was, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Do you? Ray Buvid in 1937 through 5. And Cade McNown in 1999 through 4. And now Caleb Williams, all these years later, duplicates the effort here in London. Bears big winners today, a 3-game winning streak and a bye week coming up. We'll continue to wrap things up here from London with Tom Thayer, Jeff Joniak, and J-Mac on the Bears Radio Network.
The Chicago Bears Radio Network is brought to you in part by Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, by Miller Lite, and by Great Clips. This is Bears football on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
Your company can save money by becoming more energy efficient. In fact, the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program can help your business find up to 35% in energy savings, resulting in lower energy costs. At ComEd, we're not just moving toward a clean energy future. We're powering the future of your business. Sign up for your free facility assessment at ComEd.com/poweringbiz. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customer's usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
Advantage Toyota of River Oaks has the new Toyota you've been looking for. Come browse their extensive inventory of top quality vehicles priced less than you'd expect. Always backed up by unparalleled customer service and a seamless buying experience. Advantage Toyota values your time. They'll have you in your new Toyota in less than 60 minutes or they'll make your first car payment. That's right, drive off in your new Toyota in less than 60 minutes or they'll make your first car payment. Come see them or visit AdvantageToyotaRiverOaks.com.
Must mention offer upon arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
Illinois State University, like Chicago's favorite football team, welcomed a historic recruiting class this fall, the largest since 1986. Like our gridiron heroes, we're excited to watch these newest additions work hard, find success, and create a legacy of their own. And while a few of our students have suited up on Sundays, our small class sizes, expert faculty, and personalized learning environment will prepare every student for Hall of Fame careers. So be part of a winner and take the first step toward creating your legacy. Apply for admission today at illinoisstate.edu/apply.
So you call your virtual insurance company to ask a simple question about your policy, but now you're on hold listening to this music while you wait and wait. Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and pick up the phone when you call, because you shouldn't be on hold so long that you memorize the music. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Horton Group in Chicagoland if auto owners make sense for you.
Hear the playmakers and the coaches first. Postgame is next. ESPN Chicago.
35-16 Bears. I'm glad you got up early with us because we had a lot of fun in here. We just all high-five because it's been a minute since we've had this kind of success from the Bears, especially offensively, and what they've done the last 3 weeks with Caleb Williams, a quarterback, 7 touchdowns and 1 interception. Jeff Joniak, Tom Thayer, thanks to our Director of Research and Statistics, Doug Coletti, Paul Zaranger, engineer, and Little Z down on the sidelines. Of course, J-Mac for helping us out as well, and everybody in our studios at ESPN. Tom, put it in perspective for everybody what's been going on here the last 3 weeks and how important it is now as you head into a week off and then face 2 more road games when you come out of the bye week going this at 4-2.
Number one, I hope that we don't have to put up with a couple of weeks of talking about the records of the opponent the Bears have beaten. Because, look, that's the way the schedule was before you ever started the season, and you were hoping that you would play well against these types of opponents, and the Bears have played well against these types of opponents. We've seen significant line of scrimmage improvement by Caleb Williams, making sure that he keeps everybody actively involved in the offense. And then what I'm interested to hear Yurko talk about is when you have a drive as successful as Jacksonville had in their opening drive, are you convinced that you have the right game plan according to what you're seeing? Or, is there changes that you got to think about making, or do you just stick to it? So, there's a lot of interesting directions that you can go after these games. But all I know is they won. They're going into a bye week. They got to get Kyler Gordon and Tariq Stevenson, Jaquan Brisker healthy again. You got to get the guys on offense healthy as well. You got to go out and find yourself a new long snapper, and let's see where we go.
Exactly what the status of that injury is, but it is a knee injury. And this Bears secondary down essentially 3 starters for at least half of the game when Kyler Gordon had to leave. Had an outstanding game. He was lining up as one of my players of the game by far, physical, blitzing, just on it. And then he suffers a hamstring injury. So we got to keep an eye on that, and we expect Jaquan Brisker back. Hey, Jake, Jaquan, number 9, hope you're good. Hope you're fine. And then, of course, Tyreek Stevenson, a calf injury.
Well, when Kyler Gordon was healthy and in the game, Trevor Lawrence had to go to the line of scrimmage and kind of think about if he's going to stick with the play called in the huddle. Is he going to try to make a change? What is Kyler Gordon going to do after he lined up where he lined up, and then try to win that battle accordingly? And he got sacked by a blitz. He was giving tackles for loss against the running game. So Kyler Gordon meant a lot to it, but the attack did change after he went out of the lineup.
So their replacements, Jalen Jones had 10 tackles. Hicks had 5 tackles, a pass breakup, and a fumble recovery, and an interception for Blackwell, along with a pass breakup. So job well done. That's going to wrap us up. We'll talk to Coach Eberflus in a few. We'll turn it over now to Peggy Kaczynski and Yurko for post-game coverage.
JJ, thank you very much. We wish we were there too, but you have your own tea party to go to. We'll have a party back here. The Bears win. They take care of business, Yurko, like they were supposed to these last 3 games. The offense explodes yet again. It seems like each week we are going to continue to talk about some records broken or set by Caleb Williams.
And that's wonderful. And thank heavens that we are. And it's about time. I was hoping it wouldn't take as long as it did, but it looks like that he's found some solid footing, not only with his teammates, but also with the offensive coordinator. Everybody looked at this schedule and said the Bears are going to have to make hay early. And they are. They're making hay early. They're 4-2 now. That Indianapolis game is going to rue the day that game happened and the way they played in that game. But you can't take that one back. You've got to win one somewhere down the line you didn't think you were going to win. Good for the Bears. They went out there. It looked ugly again early. First 2 series for the offense. And the first series for the Chicago Bears defense again. And I'm like, what in the world is going on again here now? I thought we had a great week of practice. I thought it was going to be fantastic, blah, blah, blah. They were slow starters today. They might not have heard the alarm bell this morning. Either way, they right the ship and they make the thing look fantastic. And they walked away 35-16 in this game. It was wonderful. It's great. It looked like they had some opportunities, Jacksonville, in the end zone. Every time the ball got into the receiver's hand, it got poked out or they dropped it or something bad happened for the Jaguars. And when you're a bad team, bad things find a way to happen to you. And unfortunately for them, bad things found a way to happen to them all the time. So we don't cry for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They get to stay in London for the next week. They play the New England Patriots next week. If they don't win that one, my good friend Doug Peterson will probably be fired.
I was just going to say,
don't let him go.
You give up 5 touchdowns, it's a funeral. So 5 touchdowns and a funeral for the Jaguars and against the Bears. Let's go back, though, to the defense. So Jaquan Brisker does not make the trip out. He is held back in Chicago after suffering concussion in last week's win against Carolina. Then in Thursday's practice, Tyreek Stevenson goes down with an injury. Kyler Gordon goes down in the game with injury. And yet the backups, Jalen Jones and Elijah Hicks, did a really nice job in what could have been a dangerous offense with Trevor Lawrence.
The greatest area of depth on this football team is the defensive backfield. I mean, when you took a look at, where the strength is and where did he build this team, he built this team on, from the defensive backfield forward. The linebackers, he went and bought them in free agency, and they've played very well. Sanborn plays well when he gets an opportunity. Edwards, I don't know if we're definitely getting our money's worth out of Edmonds, but he did force a turnover today after getting beaten in coverage earlier. I don't know if we're necessarily getting all the cash we can, but that area of strength is there. It's your defensive backfield. So hopefully all the guys, you got a week and a half then to come back. A nice flight back here to Chicago. They've got a bye week coming up. They get a chance to sit and relax. That's fantastic for the fellas. Then they'll get back to work. They'll get back to work in the next one. I don't know who the next opponent is, but whoever it is.
Washington Commanders.
It's going to be a beauty.
It is going to
It'll be a featured game probably.
The 2 quarterbacks that everyone has been talking about going into the season and once the season started.
Thanks to the heavens that the Bears quarterback has now stepped up and it can be talked about. And there can be a whole lot of confidence. And I only had one quality receiver in my dynasty league. Tyreek Hill was on a bye. Cooper Kupp is injured. I got all types of problems on that, but I started Keenan Allen today.
I was just going to say,
stepped up.
You and I both started Keenan Allen today.
And I picked up the 4th receiver for Indianapolis somewhere. I don't even know where.
Real quick, we were talking about the young Bears secondary who had to fill in. Jalen Jones, who ended up starting in place of Tyreek Stevenson, led the Bears with 10 tackles today. Elijah Hicks, who ended up starting in place of Jaquan Brisker, had a fumble recovery, a couple of pass breakups in the end zone as well. Elijah Hicks had a really nice game. So nice depth by the Bears secondary. We'll find out the status of Kyler Gordon's injury. He left the game today, injured as well. Josh Blackwell, who typically comes in at nickel, he had an interception today. So really nice job by the defense. Their 12th and 13th takeaways of the season. 4 sacks to complement the Bears offense with 5 offensive touchdowns, 14 points off the Bears 2 takeaways. So nice job on both sides of the ball on defense and offense and special teams as well. First touchdowns by a Bears long snapper today.
Cole Kmet.
Yeah. And 4 point afters. I have to figure out how to say it because he was snapping for the 4 point afters. So, yeah, it was an interesting day today. A fun trip back for the Bears returning home from London. And we will open up the phone lines and take your phone calls at 312-332-3776. This is the Great Clips postgame show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway, exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
The village of Bolingbrook is breaking out and elevating its game. Bolingbrook is rated as the 3rd most diverse suburb and the only community in Illinois to make Fortune's top 50 places to live in 2023. Why? Over 50 corporate headquarters call Bolingbrook home, and it's a prime commuter destination right off I-55 and I-355. Elevate your future and the future of your business. Visit bebolingbrook.com. It's a great time to be Bolingbrook.
At Bill Jacobs Auto Group, we provide more than just luxury cars. We offer peace of mind. With the Bill Jacobs Total Mile Protection Warranty, you get a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty on every new car. Whether you're eyeing a BMW, Volkswagen, Mini, Jaguar, or Land Rover, you can drive with confidence knowing you're covered. At Bill Jacobs, the cars bring you in and the experience brings you back. Visit BillJacobs.com to start your car buying journey today.
This is Jeff Joniak here to tell you about Ego Power Plus. Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Take it from me. I love the 22-inch Select Cut self-propelled lawnmower. It cuts my lawn in a single charge. Ego delivers the power and performance of gas, but without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Ego's patented 56-volt arc lithium battery technology is the heart and soul, the system, and what powers game-changing torque needed for demanding jobs. Learn more at egopowerplus.com. Ego, power beyond belief.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine said.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Your company can save money by becoming more energy efficient. In fact, the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program can help your business find up to 35% in energy savings, resulting in lower energy costs. At ComEd, we're not just moving toward a clean energy future. We're powering the future of your business. Sign up for your free facility assessment at ComEd.com/poweringbiz. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customer's usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
Here comes the
Welcome to the Great Clips postgame show on the Bears Radio Network. Brought to you by Great Clips is gonna be great by Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, and by Miller Lite. And now, the Great Clips postgame show on the Bears Radio Network.
Here are your hosts, Peggy Kaczynski and John Yurkovich.
And we're going to throw it right back across the pond to Jeff and Tom at the stadium in London, standing by with head coach Matt Eberflus.
All right, thanks, guys. Coach, a terrific win. Really exciting game today, exciting week. And tell us about it, man. Tell us about it from your perspective. What went down today?
Yep.
Okay, Matt.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
Okay.
There was no sound there for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
I thought I lost my voice during coaching today.
Yeah, well, you might have because you were, it was an exciting day.
A lot of cheering.
From your perspective, tell us about what you saw today.
Yeah, just good teamwork. It was really good teamwork, offense and defense and kicking, working together, playing really good complementary football. We were scoring those points, 14 points, the turnovers. And, it was really good. So I think it's important that, we keep doing that. It's always about the ball. We honor the football on offense and we attack it on defense. And that's the winning way. That's important. I was really excited about the rush average, because defensively, we had it in the 3.4, and then we had 5.2 on that. So it was really good. And the explosive plays I thought were really good on offense. Cole had a really big day with 5 for 70 for 2 TDs. And then Keenan, obviously, with some really big grabs in some tight windows. And he had 2 touchdowns as well. And Swift played really well. But those guys don't play well unless the O-line plays well. So that was really good. And then the energy on the defense and the tackling I thought was really good. Like I talked about, the run defense was excellent. And then the takeaways. The takeaways are so big. The one that, TJ had, after that explosive pass was amazing right after the half there. And then, it's important that, we got him on special teams, a couple on special teams there. But really good to see Blackwell get that one interception.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good job by him coming in there, filling in for Kyler. We were down 3 DBs today. That was the other thing. Guys just rallied around each other. In terms of, Jalen Jones, Elijah Hicks, and then Blackwell coming in.
And they all made plays. Everyone
made plays. And that's really, to me, guys, I'll tell you that, I talked about that earlier in the week about the coaches and the players' relationship, getting guys ready to play, but also the players, understanding the details of how we do things and then, applying them when they get their opportunity to play. So all 3 of those guys did a wonderful job. My hat's off to their coaches. My hat's off to those players.
You know, Matt, the difficulty of putting together a game plan with so many new bodies in place, especially in the defensive backfield. After that first series, they did have double-digit amount of plays, but it resulted in a field goal. And to me, I think that's a win for the defense. But when you go back, you're addressing the team after that first series. Is it just a confirmation that the game plan is right, or do you have to think about any subtle changes that quickly in the game plan?
No, I think you do. Yeah, we definitely are. We are very tactical that way. We won't wait. So when something's going on, we have contingency plans, and we use those plans right away, and we base it on what we feel they're doing, and that's always an important thing we do. We're adjusting through the game, but when again, I lean on my coaches to get to with myself to get that done. But they do a great job.
You know, part of the adjustment I really enjoyed is Keenan Allen getting involved in the game plan. He had 3 catches the last 2 weeks, but now he gets a chance to have some meaningful catches on third down and some touchdown catches. So, you know, the more playmakers you have on offense, the more difficult it is for your defense to get prepared for them.
Yeah, there's no question. You know, you start to slant the field to one of those receivers, one of our 3 receivers that we have, or, try to move it to Cole or whatever it might be. You can do that, but you're going to leave somebody else a little light. So it's important that, we keep, moving the ball around. And Caleb keeps playing point guard. And, he had a heck of a day today. Obviously, 4 TDs. His passer rating was 124. And then we took a shot on that one on the 3rd and inches there. But that was just a called shot. And, so the guys, it's got to be our ball or nobody's. And but it was a good play call by Shane. And I thought Shane did a really good job with this whole week, working his game plan with the players and during the practice. And same thing with Coach Washington and Coach Hightower. They did a really nice job executing the plan they put in.
I know you had 1 block, but I think Cole did a nice job of, on the spot duty of snapping. So it was good to see. And then after the snapper got hurt, you had no more punts. So that was interesting as well.
Yeah, we were really concerned about the long snap for sure. The short one's not as bad. But Cole did a great job. I think he's the first guy in the history of football to score 2 touchdowns and 2 snaps after that. So,
yeah, we'll have the research department. I'm sure they can find that information. And Tom was telling me, Coach, that I asked him if he long snapped in a game, and he did, and he has nightmares about it against the Minnesota Vikings, right? Vikings, yeah. So
got rolled.
It's not a good position to be in.
No. Again, about the complementary football, and sometimes you could drill down and pick a moment. So Caleb gets picked by the safety, Andre Sisco. But then the defense forces a 3 and a punt, and then right back at it, a 10-play, 85-yard drive to a touchdown. And I believe that was the one on the unbelievably beautifully executed design play about the fakes, and there's Cole Kmet dancing down the middle of the field wide open. Terrific play design.
Yeah, that's a really, really good play design. It's off an old school play, but it's really been utilized here recently, but that's a little bit different, unique set right there. But really good job by Shane and the offensive staff.
All right, so it all worked out. A great week in London. Most importantly, you get a win, and now a bye week, and there'll be evaluation. I know that. You do your own self-scouting, but the players get a break, and safe travels on this trip home. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for everything, and congratulations on a 3-game winning streak.
All right, thanks for having me on, guys.
That's Bears head coach Matt Eberflus. Back to Peggy and Yurko.
All right, JJ and Tom, thank you very much. Have a safe trip home. The Bears now on a 3-game win streak. That's 4 straight home wins this season. Yes, this was a home game for the Bears as they come away with a win today. Let's pause. First, our Matt Eberflus interview with Jeff and Tom is brought to you by Finishing Chicago. All great finishes start with hiring qualified contractors from finishingchicago.com. Sorry about that. Can't forget about that.
That's true.
I know, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All great finishes, and the Bears did finish. Remember a year ago when we were talking about the Bears learning how to finish?
Yep. How to win in the 4th quarter, Peg.
And they have learned how to finish. Now, if they could just get off to a first possession hot start. I know I'm being picky.
You're being greedy is what you're being.
I'm being greedy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Greedy.
Because after that the first 2 possessions of 3 and outs, they got their groove.
A different type of journey today. I think a lot of people worried about this game because it was in London, but guess what? Nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Here it is. We're facing a noon slate.
It's a cup of tea.
The Bears already have one in the books. That's what I like.
Yeah, this was a cup of tea, right?
It was a cup of something.
A cup of tea.
Yeah.
All right. And now we will pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. This is ESPN 1000 Chicago, and you are listening to the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
This is the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago, WMVP, WTBC HD2, Chicago.
Hi, this is Dave Musil, owner of Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric. You've seen those free furnace ads or those free with the purchase of any air conditioner. Well, we all know those are too good to be true. At Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric, we give an upfront, honest price. And I personally guarantee to beat any buy one, get one free offer by $1,000. Guaranteed. That's right. Any free furnace offer, I'll beat it by $1,000. Guaranteed. So call today.
For all the right reasons, call 866 Seasons.
Enter for a chance to win tickets to see the Bears at home on November 10th. Edmunds is the name in car shopping, and Chicago Bear Tremaine Edmunds is the name you want on defense. They're teaming to bring you the name of the game sweepstakes. 100 fans will win tickets and parking. Some will also score upgrades like pregame on-field passes. Go to Edmunds.com/gameday to enter by October 15th. That's Edmunds with a U.com/gameday. And remember, whether you're buying or selling a car, Edmunds is the name of the game.
I never knew owning a gourmet Italian pasta business could be this profitable.
Thanks to our Old National commercial banker.
That warehouse expansion loan?
Oh, and the help with our equipment leasing.
But still, gotta say, it seems like he loves the Italian pasta business more than we do.
La nuova attrezzatura ha reso il processo molto più efficiente. I mean, the new equipment, it makes it so much more efficient.
Really dedicated commercial bankers.
Sorry, got a little carried away there.
Another reason to choose Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC.
Thinking beef? Think Papa Charlie's. Papa Charlie's has been making Chicagoland's best Italian beef sandwich for over 30 years. Think about your next family get-together or your next tailgate adventure. Now think about it with Papa Charlie's as the centerpiece of the event. Made from premium USDA-inspected beef and the finest spices. Then surround Papa Charlie's with the freshest trimmings and toppings. Pick up Papa Charlie's in the Midwest's #1 best-selling 4-pound tub of Italian beef at your favorite Chicagoland retailer.
LoadSmart offers you a fresh canvas, empowering you to take control of your supply chain. Instantly price, book, and ship with guaranteed capacity tailored to your unique needs. LoadSmart's automated solutions eliminate the chaos of manual processes, giving you the freedom to design a more efficient, cost-effective operation. Whether it's FTL, LTL, PTL, expedited, or drayage,
LoadSmart helps you shape your logistics your way.
Join the likes of Amazon Freight, Cabot Creamery, and Scott's Miracle Grow to move more with less at loadsmart.com/ESPN.
Property managers and GCs use FinishingChicago.com's contractors for finishes and protective coatings in the most iconic venues, interior spaces, and essential infrastructure. Our painters apply industry-leading commercial and industrial finishes inside and out, so your biggest assets always put their best square footage forward. FinishingChicago.com has your free list of painting, wall covering, glass systems, drywall finishing, and signage contractors. For a great finish, start with FinishingChicago.com.
Every Bears game on FM 100.3 HD2 ESPN Chicago.
The Bears win in London, a successful trip on the other side of the pond, and another record day. Caleb Williams, 4 touchdowns, a 124.4 passer rating, and our Jason McKee is standing by with the winning QB right now.
With Bears quarterback Caleb Williams. First off, Caleb, congrats on the big win. Big questions for you. Let's talk about the game plan. It looks like you were in command. Obviously, the first 2 series, you guys had a total of 6 plays, but after that, you seemed like you were in firm command of the offense. Let's talk about how early do you get the game plan, and has all the plays been scripted in terms of the first 15?
We get the game plan towards the end of the week. Obviously, you gotta put in plays, and you get an idea of what you'll be running. When you watch film on Monday and Tuesday, the type of coverage, contour, and things like that they have and run. So you get an idea, and then obviously you get there. You get there on that next day, and you're there. You're getting the run game, and getting the pass game the next day, and all of that. So we end up obviously getting it at the end of the week. Obviously after our Tuesday off. We did a great job today coming out with the win in London.
How much influence do you have on the game plan, Caleb? Does Shane allow you to throw in some plays that you like, protections, route concepts, and all those things?
Yeah, we talk. We communicate, whether it's protections, whether it's, pass game, plays that I like, plays that I don't like, things like that. And understanding the other team's personnel and, how we can affect them to slow them down, whether it's, the defensive line, whether it's the linebackers or, they blitz a lot or, whatever the case may be. And sometimes, it may be chips. Sometimes it may be run the ball a good amount. Maybe it's, throwing the ball downfield, short passing game or even tempo. So I think we did a good job there.
We've seen you flourish the last few weeks, especially when you guys are going up tempo. Is that something that you feel real comfortable with in terms of, getting the plays in fast and you being able to just line up and just go?
Yeah, I think getting to the line, I think it helps overall, just all of us. Especially when you have the first two drives, like you said, you only run 6 plays. So making sure we get something going and get the tempo, get the body temperature and everything going, get everybody going. I think Tempo does a good job of that, and we do a good job throughout the week, making sure we're executing the right way with those tempo plays.
4 touchdown passes on the day. It seems like you and Cole Kmet have been really building upon that relationship and chemistry out there on the field. Break down the first touchdown pass. You hit Cole on the seam over the middle of the field. Break down that play for us.
Yeah, so we knew the whole week that their backers are fast flow backers, and they attack and, they get after it. So, with all the motions that we had in that play and the crisscross of, the running back and Keenan and then Cole faking, like he's bluffing the block and then going down the seam. I think it was a good play call. I think the guys ran it to perfection, with timing and things like that. And all I had to do was throw a layup to Cole.
Yeah, every week it also seems like there's a different receiver that steps up and has a big game. We've seen Rome against the Colts have a big game. We saw DJ last week against the Panthers. And this week, we finally get to see the wily veteran and Keenan Allen come up with 2 touchdown passes, especially in the red zone. Was that a big part of the game plan, getting him involved, and in particular in the red zone?
Yeah, obviously. You want to talk. I mean, I talk, but you want to get these guys going. Obviously, encouraging them that we're going to get them going throughout the weeks. And obviously, that hasn't happened. And so, been able to get them going today. A couple weeks into the season, I know we've had a few, like the first game of the season, we missed on an out ball to the left. The other day versus the Rams, we missed on a seam ball, not a seam ball, but a ball down the seam. Those would have been touchdown balls, and we're missing on those, and we wanted to make sure we get him going, because having someone like that, having full of energy, ready to go. He's been great every week, and his attitude, and all these different things. So definitely want to get him going.
Coach Flus talked about this week playing clean, in particular on offense, and you guys played clean today. I think you only had 2 offensive penalties. Has that really contributed to the success you guys have had offensively the last few weeks?
No, I think it contributes to the leaders that we have. I think it contributes to the details that we've been focusing on throughout the week. Understanding that we needed to be better from the start of the season to now, where we need to keep getting better. Those 2 penalties, the wide open interception that I threw today. There's a lot to get better at, and we're going to keep doing that.
Yeah, let's talk about that interception, Caleb. I know you guys are 3rd and 1. You guys go big. You bring in Doug Kramer at fullback. You bring in Kieran Amagaje. And we all think that, hey, you know what? You're going to, run the football, convert on 3rd down. You guys take a shot play. You go deep to DJ Moore. Break down that play for us.
Yeah, so we've been practicing the play. And they've been, knowing them. They packed the box in. And then they ended up dropping out. DJ, he ran a great route. I just didn't extend it to the back pylon like we practice. And next time, I'll do that. I'll throw a better ball and be better for the team.
Talk about how much does it lessen the pressure on you in terms of when you guys get the running game going? DeAndre Swift had another big game. Roschon Johnson was also effective when he got his carries. How much does that alleviate the pressure from you having to make all the plays?
Yeah, no. I've said this before, that the run game, is a part of football. It's a part of the offense. It's a part of us as a personality. It's a part of us in winning games and things like that, controlling the clock. So, even today in the 4-minute period, I told the guys we had about 6 minutes left on the clock when we got the ball. And, I told the big guys that, it's on y'all. It's been on y'all, but right now it's only on y'all. And we're going to hand this daggone thing off and let y'all go to work.
I know the bye week's coming up, and I hate to get ahead. I know you want to enjoy the bye week, but obviously a big game coming up with you guys and the Commanders here in a few weeks. How excited are you to go up there in D.C., but also to face a guy who you're real familiar with, Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, you're obviously excited for every game. To go back home and face the Redskins, Commanders. Sorry, that's how the Redskins is the team that I grew up on. But the Commanders, Washington Commanders, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Can't wait.
Last question for you, Caleb. What was the most memorable moment this week throughout your time in London other than, winning this big game today?
I would say, us hanging out in the hotel. We're about an hour from the city, so we spend a lot of time, and hanging out, lunchroom, laughing and joking, player lounge, meetings, and all these, practices and things like that we had. I think that was the most fun. And then the most enjoyable thing was, my family was able to come out, my lady's family, first time ever seeing me play. So it was really exciting.
Caleb, thanks for your time. Enjoy the win. Back to you, Peggy and Yurko.
All right, Jason, thank you very much. That Caleb Williams interview with Jason McKee is brought to you by Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana. See Aaron Lewis at Hard Rock Live, November 22nd and 23rd. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Yurka, they were just talking about his favorite memory in London this week for Caleb Williams was the time the team spent together. Ryan Poles also mentioned that in the pregame interview heard here on the Chicago Bears radio network. He said that the players' lounge was full every night of guys playing cards, guys using the golf simulator, even karaoke machines, which I know you probably would have been involved with. Big fan,
that. Yeah. I do a real nice rugged rendition of Behind Blue Eyes by The Who. I think you'd be surprised.
But talk about how not only did they treat this like a business trip by going in early on Tuesday, but they also used this as a bonding moment for this team heading into the bye.
What they did was they isolated them about 60 minutes north of the city. They got them out into the country where the fields were right next to where they were staying. So it was nice, easy, it's convenient. It gave them a little bit of a training camp feel. And, male bonding, when you get the fellas together and you get a chance to just sit and recreate and relax, who knows what's going to break out? Euchre's going to break out. A game of Bourré is going to break out. Anything can break out when you're out there. So, it's good times when the guys get away from the families. And I know the families were eventually coming out. But when the guys get away from the families, it's a good time. It's a good time just sit and spend with all the fellas. And, you get together with your groups and you might mix it up with some other guys you don't usually hang out with. But, it's a good time to get there. And it's guys on the road getting together, just hanging out, having a good time. So good for those guys. I'm glad it worked. I'm glad they bonded. I'm glad they're becoming closer as a team. The challenges ahead. 4-2 after 6, the challenges ahead.
Yep.
It gets rougher.
Exactly. The work really begins after the bye week. Caleb Williams becomes the first rookie Bears quarterback with 3 straight 100-plus passer rating games in his early career. It seems like a long time ago that everybody was worried after week 1. He has become a very different quarterback since that opener against the Titans.
Week 1, week 2. Week 3 still had you scratching your head a little bit, but then it's 4, 5, and 6 have been, all right, here we go. He's getting it. He's getting it. He's got it. He's getting it. He's got it. Now it seems like he's got it, but you've got to prove it every single game. You got to prove it every single game that you got it. I mean, dare I say Aaron Rodgers is a 4-time MVP, right? NFL MVP. And at some point, he's got to go out and prove it every single week. That's the way the NFL is. It's a pass-fail league where every single game you are graded pass-fail. And fortunately for us now, he is grading out as a pass. Still had the one pass that was an absolute mystery.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on with that throw. So, and on the other side of the ball, Trevor Lawrence had a pass that I didn't know what the hell he was doing. He had a receiver running wide open, and he underthrew the guy by at least 6 yards. So that happens. Every time you drop back to pass, it's a test. That's the way it is. So I always tell people, don't worry about the grade. Just do what it takes to be successful. That's it.
An interesting story earlier this week out in The Athletic, in which they researched the first 5 games of a rookie quarterback's career and how indicative it was for the rest of their career. So CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, Andrew Luck, Justin Herbert, their numbers pretty much stayed the same from their first 5 games throughout the rest of their season. But Josh Allen, Joe Burrow greatly improved after their first 5 games, and they listed Caleb Williams as a question mark. Was the first 5 games indicative of how he is going to look the rest of the season, or is there still room for improvement like a Josh Allen and a Joe Burrow? Where do you stand on that?
I think there's going to be room for improvement. I think some of his best football is still ahead of him, but there's going to be a hiccup or two that you can't panic over. There's, and at times today, especially when he's in the pocket and he's getting a little bit of a pass rush, he doesn't have a natural feel for his escape route. And I think at some point he's going to be able to feel that. At some point he's going to be able to get it, and he's going to be able to sense it and be able to find his escape route a little bit easier. So, but who's going to complain? They won 35-16. There's no complaints out there. You went and you pounded a decent team that won last week. You went out to London and you pounded them. So that's a great thing. That's fantastic.
And for right now, they sit second in the division. The Vikings have a bye this week at 5-0. The Packers are 3-2, sitting right behind the Bears now. They host the Cardinals going on, I believe, right now. And then this afternoon, the Lions are at Dallas. So the NFC North continues to prove to be one of the toughest divisions in football.
5 losses, I believe, in the NFC North. Only 5 losses with a chance of having 3 more victories today, which would put them up in some elite company when it comes to the divisions in the NFL. So good for the Bears. Not only that, but every time you win a game, I know this one's against Jacksonville, it's going to bring you probably we're done with the NFC North, right?
Yes, yeah.
We're done with them. We finished 2-2.
Yes.
Beat Tennessee, beat Jacksonville. The Indianapolis game drives me crazy. And you're 2-0 within the conference. Right, so your conference at 2-0, so you win some tiebreakers. You gave the Rams some losses. They may never recover, so they're not going to be a problem with it again. But it's great to see the NFC North win games. I made a prediction at the beginning of the season. I don't know if you remember it, Peggy. There'll be a 13-win team, a 12-win team, and an 11-win team inside the division. And then somebody tried to check the math on it. I said, well, don't worry about the math. I go, let the math go. I go, but there's a possibility that happens. Now, if I'm wrong and there's a 12, an 11, and a 10, and a 9, it'd be every team had a winning record in our division. But it's a possibility of that happening. So it's going to be an interesting year. And it'll be interesting to see where the Bears finish in that 13, 12, 11, 10, or 12, 11, 10, 9 type scenario that I paint.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we will open up the phone lines at 312-332-3776. This is the Great Clips postgame show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Do you hear that? That is the sound of BMW performance without a single piston or cylinder. A generation of all-electric vehicles designed and built like no other. The BMW iX, i7, and i4 revolutionize every drive into a thrilling opportunity to feel the pure rush of BMW 100% electric. But isn't that what you'd expect from the ultimate electric driving machine? Take advantage of exceptional lease and finance offers today.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway, exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine said.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Hi, this is Jeff Joniak here to tell you about Ego Outdoor Power Equipment. Did you know that all Ego 56-volt batteries are universal? I love that my lawnmower, string trimmer, and blower all share the same powerful 56-volt Eagle Arc lithium battery. With over 90 Ego tools to choose from, you can build a powerful collection. Plus, Ego delivers the power of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. That's why Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Learn more at egopowerplus.com. In football, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. At Great Clips, they save your haircut details in clip notes, so every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. And with our easy-to-use app, you can check in from anywhere and get a ready next text when you're up next for a cut. It's the confidence of a great haircut, delivered by a team you trust. Download our app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
We all know going solar is a great way to help create a healthier, cleaner planet. But the first step is finding a solar solution that makes sense for you. You may have questions about cost and convenience. ComEd has answers and tools, like a solar calculator, to help you see all your options. You don't even need solar panels to benefit from solar power. You just need the right information. Go to comed.com/solar to find a solar solution that works for you.
New cars and old friends. At the Autobarn Subaru of Countryside, they combine 3 generations of automotive experience with state-of-the-art facilities. They are a Subaru Love Promise customer and Community Commitment Award winner, consistently supporting passions and causes in the Countryside community. Autobarn Subaru is much more than a car dealer. Exceptional service, convenience, and price matched with an unwavering dedication to the community. The Autobarn Subaru of Countryside. Shop online at theautobarnsubaru.com.
The Chicago Bears podcast. If you aren't listening, you're not getting the whole story. See it or hear it now on the ESPN Chicago app or wherever you like to pod.
Snap to Lawrence. Clean pocket. Throws right to a Bear. Intercepted and a sliding pick. Up with it at the 40. And it is Blackwell with the pick. Again, you name it, you put them in, they're going to make a play in the secondary.
Peggy and Yurko, post-game on ESPN Chicago.
Can't say enough about the backups on the Bears defense, especially in the secondary. Really did a great job today filling in for Jaquan Brisker. Elijah Hicks with a fumble recovery and a couple of pass breakups in the end zone. Tyreek Stevenson, who was lost in Thursday's practice and did not play today. Jalen Jones filled in for him and was the Bears' leading tackler with 10 tackles. And Josh Blackwell, who came in for an injured Kyler Gordon, ends up with that interception. The Bears with their 12th and 13th takeaways of the season to go along with 4 sacks. A nice job by the defense playing complementary football with the offense.
They should have had one earlier, too, where they forced the fumble.
That's right.
They said there was not a football move. Listen, when you gather, so you catch the ball, you got 1 foot down, 2, and you gather. When you gather, that's a football move. When you're regaining your balance to move a direction, the gathering is a football move. Why people don't understand that and why the NFL officials just sit there like pompous asses and they get on there. It's like they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They want to create something. You catch the ball and you're on a turn and you gather. The gathering, the changing of the football from the middle to the right arm is a football move. I don't understand it. So when that one didn't happen, I go, boy, these breaks are starting to go against the Bears a little bit earlier. But I thought they had another turnover a little bit earlier in the game that was overruled by the officials, which I think is absolute crap.
Bears fans are celebrating a win over the pond with a international game against the Jaguars, the first time in 5 years that the Bears played in the international series, and pick up a nice win today. Let's go out to the phone lines where our Bears fans are celebrating as well. In Louisville, we find Drew is up first. Hello, Drew.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Great, Drew. What's going on?
Hey, not too much, man. I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic about this Bears team. Happy, but I do have a question. Are they for real? And I can't. I'm probably not the only one thinking that. Are they for real? Are they really that good?
Hey, it's a legitimate question.
My question.
Yeah, it's a legitimate question. I stated at the beginning of the year, this team could be 7-2, and people will look at their schedule and say it was a light schedule. 100% correct.
Mm-hmm.
They could look at it and say, yeah. But the benefit is they've got those 9 games to get themselves in a position where they're going to be able to compete against the elite in the NFL, against those playoff teams. They got 9 games to get themselves situated and get themselves right. They beat up on the Rams, which were a playoff team last year, but I wouldn't call the Rams a playoff team this year. So you can't look at that victory and say that's anything special. It's not. The victory against the Rams is not a special victory. You've got 9 games to make hay. The least you can be is 6-3. I pray to the heavens they can be 7-2 going into that game against the Green Bay Packers at home. That's what you're hoping for. But if somebody wanted to be a skeptic and somebody wanted to tell you, they're not for real, they're paper champions, until you get to that ass end of the schedule, the final 8 games, and you start beating some of those teams, that's when you start proving you belong in the NFL.
Drew, thank you for the phone call. We appreciate it. We continue on the phone lines in Vermont, listening in on the ESPN Chicago app. We find Chuck. Hello, Chuck.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
What do you got?
Here's the thing. My family's had season tickets since they played at Wrigley Field.
Right.
My son's got the tickets when my dad passed.
Right.
This is the most complete game I think the Bears played. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah, and it started slow, but then it built up, and then a wonderful little crescendo at the end of the game.
Chuck.
Yeah, well, it started slow, but they held fast.
Oh,
Chuck
right there.
Chuck is an example of the generations of Bears fans who have been waiting for a team like this.
Yeah.
And an offense like this. And that's why Bears fans get so emotional and they're so passionate. And my goodness, that sounded like a home game at Soldier Field today.
Well, the Bears fans travel and they'll spend money, but they've got to have something to travel for and spend money for.
But I'll tell you something,
so it's good to see it's finally happening.
We talked to one of the hosts of the Irish Bears Network on Peggy and Dion yesterday, and he said, in London, the Jags are there every year. The Jags call that going home when they go to London for a game.
Sure.
But there are more Bears fans in London. They love the Bears.
Well, the Bears went over after 85, right?
That was the first one.
First one to go over there. So, yeah, I think there's an affinity for the Bears over there.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Jacksonville Jags that just, their owner has got a football team in London, Fulham Football Club, and they play at the Craven Cottage and the River Thames, just in case you didn't know.
Yes.
And Saad Khan, and then he's like, okay, I want to bring a team to Europe, so he's using his Jacksonville Jaguars as the team that's going to be playing in Europe 12 years in a row now, and they're going to continue to play over there. And if he could get more games over there, I'm sure he'd like to get more games over there. And he leveraged it against the city of Jacksonville to get a massive project put through. So he leveraged being able to play more games out there, unless they gave him some more money for this little project that they're going to build down by the river.
Their new stadium, they got approved for theirs.
Yeah.
They got approved for theirs. But there is something to be said for a team like the Chicago Bears that has been around since the inception of football and the generations of fans that have been following them. There's a lot to be said.
Good,
Chuck, we really appreciate you calling in.
When they're good, the fans will show up and they'll be fantastic. When they're bad, they'll let you know how bad you are too.
From Louisville to Vermont to San Diego we go. Eric is up next on the ESPN Chicago app. Hello, Eric.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Great. What's going on?
Well, obviously overall very happy with the win. And I feel like, Caleb continues to show improvement. My biggest nervousness continues to be the offensive line. I feel like there were moments where obviously, he had some good time. I feel like they opened up the run for Swift, but I still get nervous about left tackle. I still feel like Caleb is getting a lot of pressure. And I wonder if you guys think that they can do anything as we get closer to the deadline, or you think they're going to stand pat with their current squad?
I think they're going to stand pat with their current squad. Most great offensive linemen never become available at the trade deadline. If you've got a great lineman, you want to keep them. I think, who's it? Laramie Tunsil, one of the only guys that I've ever seen change teams. He went from the Miami Dolphins, I think, to the Houston Texans in a trade, in a weird one that they had in a few years back. But yeah, I don't think, depends upon injuries too. Like if you've got the 3 injuries and they become prolonged injuries in the defensive backfield, then at some point you might have to go out there and squeeze a little depth somewhere. But they might have the answer on the practice squad. You don't know.
Bring back Reddy Stewart.
And every week we complain about Braxton Jones, every week. And then he comes out and he grades out well. It's the craziest thing in the world. I mean, we all watch the game. We all see the bull rush that gets put on him. We all see him get back in the QB's lap. And then he comes back out, and Carmen reads me these grades out there, and he's ranked one of the better offensive linemen on the team. And I just scratched my head. He got pushed back in one time real hard. Darnell Wright, who's our right tackle, 58, is playing the old swat the hands down game. And when the guy doesn't fall and you keep giving ground, eventually you're going to be in your quarterback's lap. So if you're going to play the swat the hands down game and let the guy fall flat on his face, you better get him, and you better get him early, and you better go down early, or otherwise the two of you guys are going to be in the quarterback's lap. And that's what happened one time to him.
It's saying something that the Bears, with the amount of injuries that they have had on the offensive line, Tevin Jenkins was questionable all week. He ends up starting and played the entire game. And with his history of injury and Matt Pryor displacing Nate Davis as the right guard and Bill Murray coming in as now their swing player on the offensive line.
Swing guard.
That they left Nate Davis inactive today.
That doesn't surprise me. There's also a couple of teams out there that are short of offensive linemen. So if they make a move, it might be a trading of a Nate Davis for a 7th rounder or a conditional pick, depending upon how much he plays.
Wow. That is something. He has fallen into the Velus Jones Jr. doghouse.
Well, it's not a doghouse. Velus Jones Jr. kicked the ball to the other team. Okay, that's not a doghouse. They put trust in you again. They told the world that they loved you. And how did you repay the front office, your coaches, and your teammates back? You booted the ball into the arms of the other team 24 yards away. Okay, so that's not a doghouse. What you did is you proved you couldn't play. And the fact that you're still cashing checks is an absolute gift from Ryan Poles. It's a gift.
Nate Davis is in the doghouse, though. They gave him a lot of money.
Yes.
And he has not earned that contract that they gave him.
He's in the poor performance house.
That's good,
because of his poor performance, that's where he belongs. And now you're hoping somebody is so desperate that thinks they can get to the playoffs that they're going to be willing to take him off your hands for a 6th or a 7th round pick. That's all you're going to get for him. You won't get more than that.
More of your phone calls when we come back at 312-332-3776. This is the Great Clips postgame show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at titosvodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
If you've been seriously injured at work, in a car accident, or on a construction site, you may not know where to turn. I'm Jim Morisi, Chicago personal injury lawyer and the managing partner of Morisi Longo and Associates. We are the ones you need to call when you've been injured, the ones who gather the evidence and deal with the insurance companies. So here's the information to keep by your side. Our number is 312-372-9600, and our website is moricilongo.com, MORICILONGO.com.
Right now at Old National, we have a $450 checking bonus.
Sign me up. But why is that hockey player standing there?
I'm here for the checking.
Well, for a bonus that big, bring on the checking.
Sir, no need to brace yourself against the wall.
It's bank checking.
I knew that.
Earn up to a $450 bonus when you open a checking account and complete qualifying activities within 90 days of account opening. Another reason to get old. Old National, where relationships and results matter. Member FDIC. Additional restrictions apply. Offer valid through October 31st, 2024. Visit oldnational.com/checking.
UI Health believes everyone deserves exceptional care. Their care teams are leaders in managing and treating complex diseases and conditions, utilizing the latest innovations and minimally invasive surgery. UI Health prioritizes personalized care from diagnosis through precision treatment. UI Health develops the care plan that's right for you. UI Health, exceptional care for you. Learn more at uihealth.care.
It's time to enter the Verizon Flyaway Sweepstakes. This is your chance to win a trip for you and a guest to see the Bears play in San Francisco. The Carmen and Yurko show is going back on the road to watch our favorite football team. One winner and a guest will win airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the game and lunch with me and Johnny Hansen. Hurry to select Chicagoland Verizon locations or go to ESPN-ChicagoContest.com to find the Verizon Flyaway trip page and enter by October 20th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of eligible zip codes, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit ESPN-ChicagoContest.com.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is all the truck you need with its electrifying twin-turbo V6. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats smooth the shocks when things get bumpy. And the Toyota 4Runner tames the trails when nature plays tough. And that signature power rear window? Oh, yes, sir. Toyota trucks. Toyota. Let's go places.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Horton Group in Chicagoland if auto owners make sense for you.
Hi, this is Dave Musil, owner of Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric. You've seen those free furnace ads, or those free with the purchase of any air conditioner. Well, we all know those are too good to be true. At Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric, we give an upfront, honest price. And I personally guarantee to beat any buy one, get one free offer by $1,000. Guaranteed. That's right. Any free furnace offer, I'll beat it by $1,000. Guaranteed. So call today.
For all the right reasons, call it 664 Seasons.
Uno's Pizza, handcrafted the Chicago way with the finest ingredients and buttery pie-like crust. Your taste buds will thank you. Find Uno's at your favorite local Chicagoland grocery store. It's called Uno's for a reason.
4 of 7 on third down. Here's Caleb with Roschon to his left. DJ out to the left side, right side. Slotting Adunze with Komet and Keenan Allen. Snap to Caleb. Good protection. Middle of the field. Up in the air. Over the middle for the touchdown. Touchdown Bears! And it's Keenan Allen. They put Caleb under center, a bunch set of tight ends and Adunze to the right. Swift the back, takes a snap. 3 steps, throwing, lob, left corner of the end zone. Keenan Allen. Touchdown! Touchdown Bears! Working on Brown. 2 touchdowns for Cole Komet. 2 touchdowns for Keenan Allen. And a 4-pack for number 18, Caleb Williams on the international stage here in London. And the Bears increase their lead to 27-10, point pending.
Peggy and Yurko, post game on ESPN Chicago.
Keenan Allen targeted 5 times, had 5 receptions for 41 yards and 2 touchdowns, an 8.2 yards per catch average for the veteran, and some big third down conversions. That is why they signed him, and that is who our advantage of the game is, because the Bears' advantage of the game, as always, is brought to you by Advantage Chevy Dealerships, home of the 60-minute guarantee. They will have you driving off in your next Chevy in 60 minutes or less, or they will make your first car payment. Keenan Allen, you knew that there was going to be a game that he would have a bit of a breakout. And boy, he came through today in some key and clutch situations, Yerk.
Especially in the red zone, where you like to have that veteran receiver running those tough little routes where he's in between people, finding the space, making the tough catch. So great for Keenan Allen. And quite frankly, he's been like the forgotten man here.
Well, he was out. He was out
injured.
A couple games.
He was injured, but he was still like the forgotten man. And he's feeding his guys. His guys are getting fed every once in a while. So that's what you like to see.
Keenan Allen was one of the players that was in motion on that one throw to Cole Kmet. And you guys were all talking about what a great play call and play design by Shane Waldron. When he gets guys in motion and you drag the defense into paying attention to someone like a Keenan Allen, and then you find Cole Kmet wide open downfield, those are the types of plays that we should expect to see more of from Shane Waldron.
Well, yeah, what they did was they, made DJ Moore the focus, and your eyes focused on DJ Moore. Then you took their focus to where it was going to be like a screen left. You faked the screen left, you faked it right, and then that's where your tight end had a chance, who was initially blocking. He had a chance to slip out, get right down the seam, and Caleb found him and put the ball on the mark. And then Cole Kmet was tough enough to get into the end zone.
Some interesting plays that Shane Waldron is now going to. And the other thing that was interesting that came out this week was the revelation that Shane Waldron, the first few weeks of the season, does not have scripted plays, whether or not that was to protect Caleb Williams and not give him too much to do. But it seemed after the Bears leadership group met with Shane Waldron and the offensive captains, that changed a little bit. And we heard Caleb discuss that with Jason McKee in the post-game interview, that they do now have some plays that they go to. They may not be scripted.
Right. I don't think they're the first 15. When you're practicing during the week, you've got an idea what the game plan is. When you go over it and you start looking at where the weaknesses are on the other team, areas that you want to exploit, this is how we're going to exploit their areas. If you had a half a brain, you'd kind of understand exactly what you were going to do to be able to attack these guys. And you're practicing those plays all week. So whatever order you want to put them in is the order that you want to put them in. Now, the only reason you run a first 15 is if you want to find out what your motion is going to cause. What adjustments were they going to have off of your motion? And then your astute offensive coordinator and or head coach, he could even be both, is taking notes on what they're going to do to the motions that you have on the field. He takes those notes down. He communicates with the people upstairs. This is what they're doing. Let's get, after the first 15, let's get our game plan going with what we want to put ourselves in to make us the most successful.
You're prodding the defense. You're prodding them.
Yes, exactly. Poking and prodding.
Poking and prodding,
trying to figure out exactly how you're going to adjust to what we give you.
Bears looked good at first downs. They did not leave themselves in third and long too often today. That was another good sign by the offense.
Yeah, great sign. I know Sylvia was all in a huff early on when on the opening kickoff, the Bears had a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Because of motion on Hardy.
Daniel Hardy, I think he gets called for it every game now.
Every game. Whether he likes it or not, he'll get called for that. He had a forced fumble a little bit later.
Yes, he
on
did.
A kickoff that the Bears did not recover. I think Jacksonville was lucky to recover that one. But, yeah, no first down penalties put you in first 15, first and 20. When you don't do that, you don't have a mistake. Now, they did have a penalty down by the goal line where Cole Kmet came over, got down, but didn't put his hand down on the ground. And as he was in his, with his hands on his knees, a player goes into motion. Then he went down into his stance. And then they've put a legal shift. And it wasn't a legal shift because Kmet did. If he would have had his hands on his thighs and never moved after that, he'd have been fine. When the guy went in motion, there wouldn't have been two people in motion. But the guy went in motion, he put his hand on the ground. That's two players in motion. Illegal shift. 100% correct.
Interesting.
The guy caught it, and then Eberflus, he was arguing the play that he was stopped. It didn't matter he was stopped. He was stopped, but then the act of putting the hand to the ground put him in motion again.
Right.
So it happens. They got backed up. I think they still scored a touchdown, so it doesn't make a difference.
Out to LA we go. Josh is up next on the postgame show. Hello, Josh.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Great. What's up?
Yeah, so, I just wanted to talk about the slow start, which, as you guys always talk about, it's just one part of the story, It's like, it's 60 minutes. And, it's after the second game, I really pumped the brakes and just said progress over perfection with a young quarterback and an offensive coordinator. Excited to watch this Washington Ravens game to kind of get some tape on how to try to slow down our next opponent and their offense. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is I know you guys, I wanted to tell you guys that there is a product called No Sense for the stinky shoe. This is for you, Peg, because I know you obviously have a partner that might not listen as well, but you can get those. They're great. My son has feet that smell like French cheese, and it's worked out for our home here.
I've got a little Croatian cheese
Gouda
in this studio over here. What is it called again, Josh?
No Scent.
It's just called No Scent, like No Scent, S-E-N-T.
Okay.
So they're little 8-inch bags you put in, and all it smells like when you take them out, it smells like a light, clean chlorine smell, but it's not chlorine in it. It's a non-toxic. So it works great in our house. My son is genetically, what's the term? Whatever. Disposed.
Predisposed?
Predisposed. Yeah, my wife, the English teacher, just screamed it out the window there. To stinky feet. So, it works great.
So it's a genetic thing. It's a genetic thing there, Yerk. Yerk's not even listening.
I'm listening. No
he
scent.
does not want to hear about his stinky feet,
guys,
Josh.
No scent, predisposed. I've got it all.
It's genetic. Is there anyone else in your family? Have you noticed it when you're laying around Thanksgiving with the fam?
No.
Is there an odor?
No.
Wafting outside of turkey?
No, not odorous.
I can't speak for your family, but in terms of ours, it really happens right, pre-teenagers. But by the time you get to no, I still have it. I'll still have it. I'm not going to lie.
All right, Josh, thank you so much. I really don't want to get into Yerk's hormones at this point. So
I don't either.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate the phone call.
I think I'm going into menopause.
Menopause.
Yeah, exactly. Menopause.
Yeah, so you're releasing something.
Oh, the hounds. Release the hounds. Yeah, I'm releasing the hounds.
There is something being released over on that side of the studio.
If it's anything today, I'm gaseous. I'm gaseous powered.
I was just gonna say.
Well, I'm telling you, Smash Brothers, Smash Burgers,
I'll get you the No Scent. You can get me the gas mask for Christmas.
Whatever you need.
That's what that we'll help each other out to get through these.
Yeah.
These
tough times that we're gonna have.
No, these are good times.
Yeah.
These are celebratory times.
They need to keep being good times. What are we going to do next weekend?
These are happy times. I am going to visit. I'm going to visit my son.
Where are you going? Tennessee?
Manhattan, Kansas.
Kansas State University.
Tonight, I will be in Manhattan, New York.
Will you?
Yes.
5-star restaurant?
Yes, actually, that is what we're doing.
Michelin?
It is one of the top top 50 restaurants in the world.
Where are you going?
Le Bernardin. Eric Ripert.
Yes. Try the cheese.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and then next weekend I go from Manhattan, New York to Manhattan, Kansas.
That's not bad.
I don't think I'll find any 5-star
What
restaurants.
about Manhattan, Illinois? You might as well make it a 3-pack.
I should stop in Manhattan, Illinois.
Right, Moni, Manhattan.
When we come back, we'll find out what you are doing.
I know what I'm
on
doing.
this bye week. Does it have to do with money?
I'm going to take a shower.
Oh,
First one in a
God.
couple of weeks.
Thank God Almighty. Free at last.
Renee says she feels sorry for you for gassing her out of the studio.
Thank you, Renee. I know you understand. Let's take a break. When we come back, let's go back to the phone lines at 312-332-3776. This is the Great Clips postgame show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway, exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Score a touchdown with your next vehicle at Bill Jacobs Auto Group. Whether you're in the market for a brand new BMW, Volkswagen, Mini, Jaguar, or Land Rover, we've got the perfect play for you. Every car comes with Bill Jacobs Total Mile Protection. Enjoy a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty on new cars and a 3-month, 3,000-mile powertrain warranty on used cars. Visit us in Naperville and Hinsdale today. At Bill Jacobs, the cars bring you in and the experience brings you back.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine says.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Your company can save money by becoming more energy efficient. In fact, the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program can help your business find up to 35% in energy savings, resulting in lower energy costs. At ComEd, we're not just moving toward a clean energy future. We're powering the future of your business. Sign up for your free facility assessment at ComEd.com/poweringbiz. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customer's usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
Illinois State University, like Chicago's favorite football team, welcomed a historic recruiting class this fall, the largest since 1986. Like our gridiron heroes, we're excited to watch these newest additions work hard, find success, and create a legacy of their own. And while a few of our students have suited up on Sundays, our small class sizes, expert faculty, and personalized learning environment will prepare every student for Hall of Fame careers. So be part of a winner and take the first step toward creating your legacy. Apply for admission today at illinoisstate.edu/apply.
Our patient Mike had blood clots deep in his lungs that were putting his heart under major duress. Using a minimally invasive procedure pioneered by our team, we were able to clear them.
Top ranked in Illinois for heart and vascular by U.S. News and World Report, Northwestern Memorial Hospital used tiny balloons to widen the vessels in his lungs, the first in Illinois to master this breakthrough method.
As Mike's nurse, I'm proud to have helped him breathe freely again.
Northwestern Medicine, better.
Hey Bears fans, Steinhoffel's is a proud partner of the Chicago Bears. Steinhoffel's newest furniture and mattress superstore is now open in Schaumburg on Gulf Road, with stores in Vernon Hills, Crystal Lake, Downers Grove, Harwood Heights, Schaumburg, and coming soon to Orland Park. Steinhoffel's is Chicagoland's furniture and mattress leader with the largest selection to fit every style and budget and is 100% employee owned. Shop in-store and online at steinhoffels.com.
Advantage Toyota River Oaks is your connection to your new Toyota. Drive home in less than 60 minutes or they'll make your first car payment. See them in Calumet City or visit AdvantageToyota.com. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Here's the boot by Santos and returnable. It's up. Jones to the 20, middle of the field, 25, and he's blasted there. Jack Sanborn leading the brigade. He's not the only one. There were three of them, but you always know when Sanborn lays the wood there because the guy goes back on his back.
Bears games, all of them on AM 1000 and the ESPN Chicago app.
Bears returning home from London with a win in their pocket and a 3-game win streak at that. Heading into the bye now, they are second in the NFC North with a 4-2 record. Let's keep going on the phone lines. Out to Green Bay we go. Hello, Robert.
Hello, guys.
What's going on?
This is what I've been waiting for, is an offense to start clicking. Our defense is okay. Everybody was sitting there, you know, did you make a bad decision of getting rid of Fields or Williams? No, we made the right decision because this kid is a superstar in our eyes. And it's about time in our division, we can look at everybody in there and say, we have a quarterback now. We're not the laughing stock.
Well, that's a good thing, yeah.
Green Bay better watch out. Minnesota better watch out, and Detroit better watch out, because here comes Monsters of the Midway. I am ecstatic. This is the best game calling of Shane Waldron. Now, we get out of the bye. Do not mess that offensive line. Keep those guys legit. You got Bates coming off after the bye. Leave him on the bench, and if someone goes down, you plug him in.
Well, it's great to hear. Yeah, great to hear you're ecstatic.
Chemistry up.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're all excited about the Bears, and the quarterback that they drafted with the first pick is starting to prove the fact that he was quality, and he was worth taking with the number 1 pick overall. And there's going to be, whether anybody likes it or not, he's going to have a bad game in one of these games where we're going to scratch our heads and we're going to go, what happened? What did he do? So don't worry about that. You got to worry about the overall development. We're not even game to game, but it's like 6 games to 6 games. You got to watch, the average of the 6 games. So it's great. We have them. Watch out, everybody. We already played Detroit and Minnesota well. You've got to beat Green Bay. You've lost to them 10 straight times. So that game they play against Green Bay at home is one of those that you got to circle and put a couple stars next to. And that's the game that you've got to play well. And that's the game that you want to win. And you want to plant a seed of doubt in the Green Bay Packers' mind.
Packers are hosting the Cardinals right now and have a 14-0 lead behind 2 Jordan Love touchdown passes. 14-0 against the Cardinals, and Kyler Murray has done nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's 1 of 5 for 9 yards into the second quarter.
And the other interesting game is Washington-Baltimore 3-3 right now. Couple of field goals. Has that one knotted at 3.
That is going to be, the build-up to the Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams game is going to be something.
Well, it should be, though. It should be something.
Do you go along with Jaden Daniels has looked fantastic, both on the ground, in the air. Has he seen enough competition? Have they hit a tough part of their schedule where you can say, yeah, he's beaten some good teams?
Well, I haven't seen every team that they've beaten, but I don't think anybody expected them to be anything more than a 6-7 win team. So the fact that they're 4-1 playing against Baltimore, which is probably the first really kind of rugged playoff team that you're going to take a look at. Did they play the Cowboys yet? I don't have their schedule in front of me, but I didn't expect them to be where they're at. I expected them to be 2-3 or 3-2 tops. And the fact that they are where they are, it's good for those guys.
The Commanders lost the opener at Tampa Bay, and then they lost big, 37-20. And then they've ripped off 4 straight wins against the Giants, the Bengals, the Cardinals, and the Browns.
So the Bengals is one hell of a victory. The Browns are in disarray.
Are they, though? The Bengals are in disarray.
Nah, but the Bengals are a quality offense. So you had to outscore the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow in that offense is still pretty solid. That defense front can't get any pressure on the quarterback, and they're giving up points. You look at the Bengals' final scores. They're like, geez, you better be able to score a ton of points because you're giving up a ton of points.
They don't face the Cowboys until Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
So that's another one. Yeah, Eagles and Cowboys then as they.
Geez, that one's Detroit and Chicago at 11:30. They probably have the afternoon tilt. Dallas Cowboys at Dallas.
What is Thanksgiving's late this year? It's like the 28th.
28th. Yeah.
Okay, so then they play the week. They take the Cowboys the week before Thanksgiving.
Okay,
yeah,
there you go.
On the 24th.
I got you.
Let's keep going on the phone lines. Out to St. John's we go. Hello, Billy.
Hey, Peggy. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Billy?
Fantastic. 5 points. Go Bears.
Yep.
I love it. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Peggy, how's Yurko's shoes today? You got socks on?
His shoes are on. I actually had my shoes off today watching the game. And I
noticed
there is no odoriferous smell in the studio today, unless the guy next to me here has another smash burger. There might be.
Yeah, you're nose deaf to your own feet.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right. How about number 4?
What are you drinking today?
All right, what's number 4?
Peggy, Yurko, you sound sober today. Just kidding. Terrible what that guy said.
Yeah.
And then if I want to go to if I want to go get a couple wings and a couple cold beers in St. John's, besides your sponsors, where am I going? I'll hang up and I'll listen. Go Bears.
In St. John for a couple of wings, go to Michael's. And if you're in Cedar Tucky, go to Timeout Pub. Cedar Tucky, Cedar Lake. Timeout Pub, get some wings.
What is this? Call in and get your
you want some advice? I'll give you some advice.
Where should I go after the game?
If you're in Highland, go to our bar.
People aren't used to the fact that they have all day Sunday now to go watch
they don't know
football.
they don't know what
to do.
They don't know what's going on.
I'm going to call Yurko and see where I should go in St. John.
Somebody did make that ugly accusation I was drinking on the air.
We should clear that up.
And first of all,
were you?
I never drink when I come in here. First of all, I never drink.
Never. I've never seen
usually we're here. I leave to get here in time. I leave probably at about 10:45 to make sure that I get here in a timely fashion. Now, I was in Indianapolis this morning for a wedding.
Right.
Stayed there last night. Woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning our time.
Yep.
Got home at about 6:30. Chilled at the house for a little bit. Then it came down here because the marathon was here, and I didn't necessarily know if I had a direct route to get in here. Now, I was at the wedding, so I got drunk last night.
Okay.
Woke up this morning.
That's okay.
Drove back home. Yeah. But I never drink on Sundays here at the station. But I promise you Saturday nights are rough. I promise you Saturday nights I'm tying one on. So if I look a little ragged on Sundays, it's because Saturday was one hell of a night for the good kid. So, and quite frankly, when I'm on here, this video aspect of all this stuff that we do now is a new demon. It's a new demon for me.
For you,
yeah.
I'm the one that has to worry now about I can't come in here anymore looking like
we used to be able to
was
relax.
out all night.
I had a face for radio.
Now I have to worry about how I look.
Now all of a sudden I'm on TV.
But can I just say,
I pick my nose. I'm picking at my teeth all the time.
Well, thank God that camera isn't a sniff cam.
Why? You're the one with your shoes off today. They smell like rotten cucumbers.
No, they did not.
Yeah.
They did not at all. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what? And I was just going to say, not once have I ever thought that you came in here drunk.
I appreciate that.
But now I'm changing that because now you're being a jerk. I'm kidding. No, he has never. He is nothing but a professional.
I'm a professional. I've been doing this for 30-some plus years, guys.
Absolutely. And I learned something every single
day.
Week every week that I watch the games with you.
Every day is a winding road.
And what I learned today from you?
What'd you learn? I'm afraid.
I had to stop and think. What did I learn from you today? I learned from you that I was under the impression that most teams do have a first 15 scripted out. And I thought that every team did.
Not
Jason
all teams.
McKee even brought it up in the studio here today. We were talking about the fact that the Bears and Shane Waldron did not have that the first couple of weeks. And you told us that not every team does.
I don't believe every team does. No. I believe you got to have an offensive-minded coach and a coordinator or a head coach that has to derive specifics from the first 15 where he wants to see the adjustments that are made to his motion. I think guys have an idea of what they want to do, but I wouldn't even call it a 15. I'd call it like, the first 22 where they're going to run anything out of 22 depending upon down and distance and stuff like that.
Well, that's
Because
like a
down and
Kyle
distance,
Shanahan and Sean McVay. They all have 20, 25.
But if on my third down, I'm on third down, my third play is a run play and it's 3rd and 12. Guess what I'm doing? I'm changing my first 15.
Yeah.
I have to because of the circumstances that have come upon us. So.
See, you do not get that kind of knowledge from someone who needs a breathalyzer.
Defensively, we've never had a first 15 on defense. We never go, hey, these are the first 15 defenses we're going to play. Why? Because we're more reactionary.
You react to what the offense is doing.
Right, what they're putting on the field, and sometimes we dictate policy. When I was with Green Bay in a playoff game against San Francisco, we played a defense we called Big Nickel. Now, we played an over-under scheme the whole time. We played a 33. 3 defensive linemen, each over the tackles, 1 over the nose, 3 big linebackers.
Right.
5 defensive backs. 1 nickel. It was big nickel. Because usually you're pulling a linebacker out.
Right.
But we wanted to stay athletic at the linebacker position and just take our 3 technique out and go up against Frisco. Frisco didn't pick up on it for a while. And then they had started to adjust to it a little bit. but we ended up beating the living crap out of them back then because of a small nuance where we dictated to Frisco, but Frisco wanted to be stubborn and still do the things they wanted to. So sometimes defensively, you can dictate something to the offense, and you just hope they don't pick up on it sometimes. And we were successful at it. So there's something new there too.
Pearls of wisdom.
I'm here for you, kid.
From Yurko. All right. We need to take a break, and we also need to pause 10 seconds to allow our stations to identify themselves. Yes, it's that time again.
Oh, boy.
This is ESPN 1000 Chicago. You are listening to the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
This is the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago, WMVP, WTBC HD2, Chicago.
Dear football fans, Toyota's leading the drive to victory. The Corolla and all-hybrid Camry make big plays with style and efficiency. RAV4 is a versatile game changer. Highlander's got room for your whole squad. And the rugged Tacoma and Tundra control the line of scrimmage. They've all got available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive too. Visit Toyota.com or head to your local Toyota dealership. Toyota, let's go places.
Property managers and GCs use FinishingChicago.com's contractors for finishes and protective coatings in the most iconic venues, interior spaces, and essential infrastructure. Our painters apply industry-leading commercial and industrial finishes inside and out, so your biggest assets always put their best square footage forward. FinishingChicago.com has your free list of painting, wall covering, glass systems, drywall finishing, and signage contractors. For a great finish, start with FinishingChicago.com.
So you call your virtual insurance company to ask a simple question about your policy, but now you're on hold listening to this music while you wait and wait. Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and pick up the phone when you call, because you shouldn't be on hold so long that you memorize the music. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Horton Group in Chicagoland if auto owners make sense for you.
$2.25 million. The Verdoliak Law Group wins again for their clients. That's right. The Verdoliak Law Group recovered $2.25 million for a client who was injured in an auto accident. If you're injured, make sure to call the Verdoliak Law Group. Playing professional football and being on the radio for many years, I've had the opportunity to endorse many products and companies, but this is special. The Verdoliak Law Group, owned by close friends, has been helping people for 60 years. They've even taken care of my neighbors and close friends. I truly believe in them. When you need a doctor, you look for the experience and the skill. The same goes when you're choosing a lawyer. The Verdoliak Law Group has recovered over $9 billion for clients and served more than 40,000 people. Whether it's personal injury, auto or truck accidents, wrongful death, or medical malpractice, call my friends at Verdoliak Law Group. The Verdoliak Law Group has done great for my friends and neighbors. They will do great for you too. Call them today at 844-4VLG-LAW.
This is Jeff Joniak here to tell you about Ego Power Plus. Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Take it from me. I love the 22-inch Select Cut self-propelled lawnmower. It cuts my lawn in a single charge. Ego delivers the power and performance of gas, but without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Ego's patented 56-volt arc lithium battery technology is the heart and soul, the system, and what powers game-changing torque needed for demanding jobs. Learn more at egopowerplus.com. Ego, power beyond belief.
Hi, this is Dave Musial, owner of Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric. You've seen those free furnace ads, or those free with the purchase of any air conditioner. Well, we all know those are too good to be true. At Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric, we give an upfront, honest price. And I personally guarantee to beat any buy one, get one free offer by $1,000. Guaranteed. That's right. Any free furnace offer, I'll beat it by $1,000. Guaranteed. So call today.
For all the right reasons, call it 664 Seasons.
Some people like A and others like B. At BMW, we prefer X, like the dynamic X3 meant for ultimate exploration, the X5 built to conquer even the most difficult paths, or the pinnacle of comfort and luxury, the X7. And since every X-Range vehicle is packed with performance and versatility, you'll always get the best of X. The BMW X-Range. Your next X venture starts here. Take advantage of exceptional lease and finance offers today.
When you think beef, think Papa Charlie's, Chicago's favorite Italian beef specialist for 3 decades. It's Chicago's favorite. For your next tailgate, pick up Papa Charlie's Italian beef today at your favorite local Chicagoland retailer. orbit motion with Keenan Allen as the snap to Caleb. Fakes it left, fakes it right, down the middle of the field. Komet's got it at the 10. Breaks a tackle to the 5. Rumbles into the end zone. An angry run from Cole Komet. Touchdown! Touchdown Bears! All right. And the lead, 6-3. Caleb Williams from the 2. Left hash. Trio right, one to the left, single up top of the field. Snap is back. Caleb looks to the near side, throwing in the back of the near side end zone corner. Cole Komet, touchdown Bears on Darnell Savage. Cole Komet leaking behind Savage and gets his second touchdown catch today. It's a 2-yarder, and the Bears have opened up a 13-3 lead on Jacksonville. And the home-standing Bears are going bananas.
Post-game wrap-up is next with Jason McKee, Pat the Designer, and Jeff Meller.
Cole Komet was finding the great today, not only 2 touchdowns for the tight end, but he went in as the backup long snapper very early in the first quarter after the Bears long snapper was injured, and Cole Komet as the backup long snapper then was in for the, I believe it was 5 points after.
Yeah, solid snaps for a guy that came in a pinch. A couple were high, but the holder got him down. And quite frankly, when the backup comes in, you just want to be able to get the kickoff. They got the kickoff every single time.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ask for.
As he told Jason McKee in the postgame show, every Thursday he takes a couple of snaps as the long snapper. Coach Eberflus said in the postgame or during the game, he was interviewed at halftime and he was asked about it. And he said, "Oh, Cole does it every Thursday." When Jason McKee asked him after the game, he said he does two long snaps every Thursday.
Does a couple. He does a couple.
Just 2.
Yeah.
And then he gets in for his post-practice workout.
I had to get brought into a pinch one time because our center in Jacksonville got busted up, our short snapper. So I went into the short snap, and I did 3 kicks on the day against the Ravens. First and second one were successful. Third one, I had a little hitch in my get-along. So
what is that? What's your get-along?
A little in my snapping process.
Okay.
I would lift the ball up before I'd fire it, so you'd get a little bit of a signal that I was going to throw the ball. Well, Rod Woodson's no fool, and he's not a Hall of Famer for no reason, right? Rod Woodson comes on the third field goal. I snap the ball back. They put the ball down. I hear thud and thud. I hear the dreaded double thud.
Oh, no.
And they blocked the field goal. And it was because Rod Woodson could, obviously, he's got a hitch. Let's time it out. Then after that, nobody ever got hurt. And I was always the backup. But I got more than 2 snaps a week. It wasn't just Thursday. In the game, I had to go out at 10:55 for a noon game. 10:55, I'm out with the specialist. And I'm getting a handful of snaps there. They're not letting you get away with just standing out and getting 1 or 2 snaps. No, they want you just in case you want to be able to snap. So I'm surprised Cole doesn't get any before the game. That's all.
That it's surprising as well.
Surprising that Cole doesn't get more.
Was also targeted 5 times. He had 5 catches for 70 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the extra points as the long snapper.
And the nice one on a broken play when he initially started as a blocker, and Caleb ended up rolling out to the right, came back, and he found Cole Komet. And Cole Komet, I believe, had about 23, 24-yard gain there.
Right. He is our finding the great Cole Komet, because in sports, success is about team effort. And the same is true for your hair.
We love Cole.
At Great Clips, they save your haircut details in clip notes. So every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. Download their app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great. Let's go out to the phone lines. Out to Northwest Indiana, your neck of the woods. Esteban is standing by. Hello, Esteban.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Go Bear Down.
Bear Down.
Hey, I just wanted to say, hey, man, our defense is right now, after today, we're averaging 17 points per game. That's nuts. I don't think our defense is getting enough praise.
Well, I think we're giving them praise. I think we gave the depth of the defensive backfield praise because they had 3 injuries back there, and they did a wonderful job. They've been forcing turnovers all year. We had a couple today that turned directly into points. So, yeah, the defense has played very well. They had trouble against a quality offensive line finding a way to get pressure on the quarterback. Still ended up with 4 sacks. Congratulations goes out to the squad. But a lot of those came late in the fourth quarter. But getting persistent pressure with 4 up front was not as easy because Trevor Lawrence on a couple of drives looked like a world beater against the Bears.
Not only holding the opponents under 21 points, under 17 points a game now, but they finally stopped the run. They finally stopped the run. They had been averaging 121 yards giving up on the ground. And today they gave Jacksonville 68 yards rushing, a 3.4 yards per carry average. So nice job. They tightened it up on their run defense as well. Esteban, anything else?
I say we give the keys to the city to Ryan Poles and Caleb Williams 2024, baby.
There we go. There we go.
Is that?
I think that's a political maneuver there. Williams Poles 2024. Yeah, that's what he's looking at.
I wasn't sure if it
Poles,
was
Williams.
Esteban or Spicoli.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he had a little Spicoli in him.
There was a little bit of Spicoli in that call. Let's go out to Detroit. Stephen is standing by, listening on the ESPN Chicago app. Hello, Stephen.
Hey, guys. It feels weird watching a game early in the morning, and then, you really have not much else to do but watch other teams in action. Kind of had to really caffeinate myself early in the morning. It's not usually the time to watch the game, but I'm glad I pushed through. It was a great game. Really not much to complain about. Anything from the coaching staff, that Caleb's deep ball to more, he floated. Unfortunately, that was probably the only bad thing, which I'm sure that will be, scrutinized and dissected, unfortunately. But I'm glad that, he and Keenan Allen at least got involved today. And I just want to see more consistency from the offense right from the get-go, because it's just frustrating to watch, the offense struggle and then finally get going.
Stephen, we're being greedy. That's what Yurko said. We're being greedy,
yes.
wanting them to score on their first possession, which they have yet to do this year. But you know what? By the third possession, they got it rolling.
And then they kept scoring. And the punter only punted twice today, guys.
Yeah. Thank goodness after the long snapper went down.
Yeah.
That was Stephen, thank you, though, by the way. Hey, we have to thank our friends at Smashburger.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
Can you believe we got food?
I know.
We got
It's a
food.
miracle. It's a miracle.
Thank you, Smashburger, for providing food for us at the postgame show here for everyone working hard all hours of the day. Smashburger, effort equals flavor. Whether it's their burgers or shakes, rewards, or guest service, you can bet your bottom bun, Yurko,
That's right.
that they have thought about how they can smash it. Smashburger, every bite a better burger.
That's right. The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
You can bet your bottom bun.
I like that.
I do too. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we have the verdict, right?
Oh yeah.
We have the verdict, and it also means
absolutely.
we need you to call as well. Is that for our advantage of the game? Remember, if you remembered what we decided was the advantage of the game, you can drive off with a Chevy Equinox 2025, which we will be giving away at the end of the season, a 2-year prepay lease. So now's the time to call. If you remember who our Bears advantage of the game was, 312-332-3776. We'll be back right after this.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway, exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
With 3 locations to serve Chicagoland, Advantage Chevrolet gives you so much more. Visit and see the amazing inventory and savings at Advantage Chevrolet Hotchkiss. And Advantage Chevrolet values your time. They'll have you in your new Chevy in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. That's right. Drive off in your new Chevy in less than 60 minutes, or they will make your first car payment. Visit AdvantageChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Must mention offer apply arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
We all know going solar is a great way to help create a healthier, cleaner planet. But the first step is finding a solar solution that makes sense for you. You may have questions about cost and convenience. ComEd has answers and tools, like a solar calculator, to help you see all your options. You don't even need solar panels to benefit from solar power. You just need the right information. Go to comed.com/solar to find a solar solution that works for you.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at titosvodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
In football, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. At Great Clips, they save your haircut details in clip notes, so every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. And with our easy-to-use app, you can check in from anywhere and get a ready next text when you're up next for a cut. It's the confidence of a great haircut, delivered by a team you trust. Download our app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Illinois State University, like Chicago's favorite football team, welcomed a historic recruiting class this fall, the largest since 1986. Like our gridiron heroes, we're excited to watch these newest additions work hard, find success, and create a legacy of their own. And while a few of our students have suited up on Sundays, our small class sizes, expert faculty, and personalized learning environment will prepare every student for Hall of Fame careers. So be part of a winner and take the first step toward creating your legacy. Apply for admission today at illinoisstate.edu/apply.
LoadSmart offers you a fresh canvas, empowering you to take control of your supply chain. Instantly price, book, and ship with guaranteed capacity tailored to your unique needs. LoadSmart's automated solutions eliminate the chaos of manual processes, giving you the freedom to design a more efficient, cost-effective operation. Whether it's FTL, LTL, PTL, expedited, or drayage, LoadSmart helps you shape your logistics your way. Join the likes of Amazon Freight, Cabot Creamery, and Scott's Miracle Grow to move more with less at loadsmart.com/ESPN.
Get the Gerald exclusive lifetime warranty of the all-new Gerald Honda Countryside, Honda's 2023 President Award winner. Unlimited miles, unlimited time at no cost to you on all new vehicles and most used vehicles. At Gerald Honda, you can expect fast, friendly, and exceptional service, plus a large selection of vehicles to choose from. See why everyone is saying, got to get to Gerald Honda of Countryside. Gerald cares.
Ings Insurance. Insurance that's moving business forward. Ings Insurance. That's Ings with an E. ENGS Insurance.com.
Lawrence goes to throw. Pressure was going to come from Gordon, but he throws to Ingram, and he breaks a tackle. Gives up the ball as he goes down. Scooped up by the Bears. Hicks got it. Turns to the 39-yard line and brought down there by Trevor Lawrence. Evan Ingram had a big catch and run, and before he's going down to the ground, he was stripped of the ball.
Peggy and Yurko, Postgame on ESPN Chicago.
The Bears' 35-16 win now sends them off to the bye week with a 4-2 record, sitting behind the 5-0 Vikings, who have a bye this week. Lions right now will be playing the Dallas Cowboys, a 3:00 start this afternoon. And the Packers are currently beating the Cardinals 24-0. They can tie with a fourth win as well, for go up to 4-2 with a win today as well. And I would be remiss, Yurko, if I did not mention that you were a former Jaguar, that you played for Jacksonville from 96 to 98. You were part of the magical season. And one of the things that I read about you is not only that you feigned injury when the defense needed a breather.
Absolutely.
But also that Tom Coughlin loved to get in your face and scream at you, but then would tell you behind the scenes, like, hey, don't take it personally. I have to say this to you in front of the other guys.
No, this is what he would do. He sat me down one time. He goes, I want you to be you. He goes, I don't want you to couch anything. I don't want you to adjust. He goes, if I'm going after you, I'm going after you because I know you can take it. He goes, some of these guys I can't get after. He goes, but if they see me going after you, they know I'd be willing to go after anybody. So sometimes I got to send my message through you.
I love it.
Yeah, and that's what he did. And I said, not a problem. And nobody thought you could joke around with Coughlin. Coughlin had a great sense of humor. So I was that guy. So I was the guy that just kind of did what he did and made my jokes and made my things. And when he got tired of me, he yelled at me. And I just, I wouldn't you don't backsass. You just listen, you go back in. But it was good to know. But he didn't want me to change my behavior. He goes, I need you here. I need you on this team. He goes, I brought you here because who you were. And I'm like, oh, well, this is great. This is fantastic. So
the days of Tom Coughlin
nice.
are behind the Jaguars. Doug Peterson may have a very long trip home after they play the Patriots next week. A very long flight home from London. By the way, the Bears' next game after the bye is against the Commanders. And right now, Washington trails the Ravens 17-10 just before the half. Do you have a verdict from this Bears game?
I do. My verdict for this team is stay the course. Full speed ahead. You get a week to go ahead and rest and get all these injuries kind of under wraps and get the healing. Let the healing begin for this football team. And then once you get back at it again after next week, when you start preparing for the Washington Commanders, and the Commanders look like they got themselves a little bit of a lead here right now. But either way, stay the course, full speed ahead. You've got 3 more games of this original 9. If the Bears could be at 7-2 after this, well, I tell you, I'd be feeling really good about ourselves. 6-3, I'm even feeling good about ourselves, but we've got to steal a victory then in the second 8 games. You got to go 5-3 then if we're going to get to 11. I think 11 gets you into the playoffs. I don't want to be a 10-win team that doesn't get in the playoffs. So my goal is 11. 11-6 is my goal.
Speaking of feeling good about themselves.
Hold on real quick. $225 million. The Verdoliak Law Group wins again for their clients. That's right. The Verdoliak Law Group recovered $2.25 million for a client who was injured in an auto accident. If you're injured, make sure to call the Verdoliak Law Group. They sponsor What's the Verdict? Stay the course. Full speed ahead. Love it.
Speaking of feeling good about yourselves, the Bears return home for that long flight home, heading into the bye week, coming off the win. Just a couple of injuries, 2, though, that could be significant. Obviously, the long snapper Scott Daly left in the first quarter. That's why Cole Kmet was long snapping the rest of the game, did a great job at that as well. And then Kyler Gordon went down as well, did not return to the game. The Bears were already without Tyreek Stevenson and also Jaquan Brisker. There was a Terrell Smith didn't make the trip. So the Bears secondary is banged up, but boy, they did a nice job in relief of having 3 starters down at one point today. So good job by them and a lot to look forward to. What are you going to do on this bye week?
I'll probably play a little bit of golf.
Oh,
I always like to get a little golf in when I can. Wake up at about 9 o'clock when it heats up a little bit because we're getting down. It's autumnal.
Right.
This week, it's going to be autumnal. So get up early in the morning. I know I'm playing Wednesday up at Glen Flora Country Club.
Oh, so anyone want to go meet Yurko up there? He'll be there Wednesday.
That's up north. I already got a tee time.
All right.
A little after 8, playing only 9 holes. Then I got to shoot in for work. You know, those days, those times of starting at 5:30 in the morning are gone, Peggy.
I have the week off. It is my anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
We are heading to 2 Manhattans. And I might have 2 Manhattans
no
to
kidding.
Celebrate the anniversary.
Sweet vermouth, the key into Manhattan.
That's right. Last night I was in Wisconsin. Do you know what they put in a Wisconsin old fashioned now?
I don't know. What did they put in?
A mushroom.
Oh, pickle mushroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never seen that
You've
before in my
got to go up
life.
north. I've seen that at the supper clubs up north.
I couldn't
They
believe
love
it.
their pickle
we were
mushrooms,
at a supper club. I'd never seen it. Anyways, everyone, I hope you enjoy your bye week. And we will be back with you on October 27th. That's the Bears' next game in our nation's capital against the Washington Commanders. Our thanks go out to our executive producer, Eric Ostrowski, Kendra Smith, and Matt McMaster. Our broadcast crew, Jeff Joniak, Tom Thayer, and Jason McKee. Thank you to our guests, Cole Kmet, head coach Matt Eberflus, and Caleb Williams, QB1. Stay tuned to our flagship station, ESPN 1000, and keep it on the ESPN Chicago app for all the latest Bears news throughout this bye week. For Yurko, I'm Peggy. You have been listening to the Great Clips postgame show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network. As we say goodbye to our affiliates, we welcome the rest of you to stand by for the postgame show up next.
Postgame wrap-up is next with Jason McKee, Pat the Designer, and Jeff Meller.
Ready for a luxurious and reliable driving experience? Visit Bill Jacobs Auto Group for premium brands like BMW, Volkswagen, Mini, Jaguar, and Land Rover. Enjoy our Bill Jacobs Total Mile Protection Warranty, a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty on every new car. Trust us to provide the peace of mind you deserve. Start your journey at BillJacobs.com. At Bill Jacobs, the cars bring you in, and the experience brings you back.
UI Health believes everyone deserves exceptional care. Their care teams are leaders in managing and treating complex diseases and conditions, utilizing the latest innovations and minimally invasive surgery. UI Health prioritizes personalized care from diagnosis through precision treatment. UI Health develops the care plan that's right for you. UI Health, exceptional care for you. Learn more at uihealth.care.
$2.25 million. The Verdoliak Law Group wins again for their clients. That's right. The Verdoliak Law Group recovered $2.25 million for a client who was injured in an auto accident. If you're injured, make sure to call the Verdoliak Law Group. Playing professional football and being on the radio for many years, I've had the opportunity to endorse many products and companies, but this is special. The Verdoliak Law Group, owned by close friends, has been helping people for 60 years. They've even taken care of my neighbors and close friends. I truly believe in them. When you need a doctor, you look for the experience and the skill. The same goes when you're choosing a lawyer. The Verdoliak Law Group has recovered over $9 billion for clients and served more than 40,000 people. Whether it's personal injury, auto or truck accidents, wrongful death, or medical malpractice, call my friends at Verdoliak Law Group. The Verdoliak Law Group has done great for my friends and neighbors. They will do great for you, too. Call them today at 844-4VLG-LAW.
Hi, this is Jeff Joniak here to tell you about Ego Outdoor Power Equipment. Did you know that all Ego 56-volt batteries are universal? I love that my lawnmower, string trimmer, and blower all share the same powerful 56-volt Ego Arc lithium battery. With over 90 Ego tools to choose from, you can build a powerful collection. Plus, Ego delivers the power of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. That's why Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Learn more at egopowerplus.com.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine said.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Property managers and GCs use FinishingChicago.com's contractors for finishes and protective coatings in the most iconic venues, interior spaces, and essential infrastructure. Our painters apply industry-leading commercial and industrial finishes inside and out, so your biggest assets always put their best square footage forward. FinishingChicago.com has your free list of painting, wall covering, glass systems, drywall finishing, and signage contractors. For a great finish, start with FinishingChicago.com.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is all the truck you need with its electrifying twin-turbo V6. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats smooth the shocks when things get bumpy. And the Toyota 4Runner tames the trails when nature plays tough. And that signature power rear window? Oh, yes, sir. Toyota trucks. Toyota. Let's go places.
Chicagoland's favorite locally made chocolate chip cookie and one of America's top-selling soft-baked cookies makes Matt's #1 on everybody's shopping list.
You've been listening to Bears football on the Bears Radio Network.
Here comes
The Chicago Bears Radio Network is brought to you in part by Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, by Miller Lite, and by Great Clips. This is Bears football on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
Thanks for listening to the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Welcome back to Bears Postgame. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Miller, and Pat the Designer on the new home of the Chicago Bears, ESPN Chicago.
Now that is a fabulous carefree Sunday. That's how you like to have your wins, folks. The Bears take advantage of a Jacksonville Jaguars team that is in absolute disarray with a 35-16 hammering at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Welcome on into the post-game show. I am Jeff Miller along with Pat the Designer. We are in the missing J-Mac formation. J-Mac was on the pregame show today with Sylvie. So he obviously is not with us today, but don't worry. We will let you hear from J-Mac. He did do the sidelines from the studio today. He had a post-game interview with Caleb Williams. So if you missed that, we will bring that to you in our post-game coverage. But 312-332-3776, your chance to jump in and talk some Bears with us, hanging out for the next couple of hours. And it was a fabulous performance by the Bears. Caleb Williams, it wasn't perfection, but 4-touchdown game. You will take that each and every Sunday. And again, 4-2 headed into the bye week, Pat. It feels good to be a Bears fan right now.
I mean, listen. Today was a day as a Bears fan that I left this game with the mindset, this may be the best quarterback this early on that we have seen in a Chicago Bears jersey. It's going to take, a full season of seeing it. But when they showed on the TV version, right, how he's going through his progression, how he's finding guys open, saying, nope, it's not there, taking the check down, right? He had to learn a lot of stuff through the first few weeks of the season. And I know it's only 6 weeks in, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
But this may be the best quarterback that we've seen in a Chicago Bears jersey when you take into account talent, when you take into account processing, when you take into account ability to get the job done. You have seen this young man, Caleb Williams, absolutely grow every single week. And now it almost feels like, I know it's against two teams you should have been able to beat, but it almost feels like he's in a little bit of cruise control here because we've had a lot of teams that we should have been able to beat that we didn't beat in our history. We've gone into a lot of weeks and said, this should be a Bears win. And it's not just that he's beating teams. This Bears offense is dominating.
Yeah.
They are clicking on all cylinders. Call it a hot take, call it whatever you want. But we have not seen a Chicago Bears quarterback do this maybe since the first 4 weeks of Rex Grossman, where we were all in love and enamored by what he was.
Yeah, the 2006
season.
2006 NFC Offensive Player of the Month of September, that season when Rex Grossman and the Bears were obviously just crushing opponents en route to a Super Bowl appearance and ultimately a loss to the Colts. But yeah, that was obviously a great heater for Rex Grossman. But the truth is that the stakes and the hope is that this is just the start of something for Caleb Williams, that the future is going to be much, much brighter than obviously what you saw from Rex Grossman in his career. And yeah, you're right. Like I've always said Kurt Warner is one of the best analysts when he's doing a football game. Rich Eisen gets in the way at times. Nevertheless,
we won't speak on that.
We probably touch on it a little bit. A little bit. There's a lot of Bears fans out there who I'm sure don't take in every London game like we do necessarily, partially because, it's a long day of football. Sometimes the London games, for some folks out there, if your team's not playing in it, it's kind of persona non grata. But the Bears today were obviously, you're going to make the time this morning to watch them, and on the NFL Network, whatever, neither here nor there. We won't get into that now, but having Kurt Warner, like you said, talk about watching Caleb process with his eyes, go through his progressions, on the field, and then back to his outlet, which was DeAndre Swift on the play I believe they were showing. This is exactly why if you were somebody who watched Caleb Williams in college, you listen to a lot of the people who break down the draft for a living. This is why so many people were so excited about the possibilities of what the Bears could be with Caleb Williams under center, what they had done surrounding him with a lot of great skilled players. And if they could just get competent offensive line play, you could have the makings of something special. To your point, this defense has been on a run here for now 11 straight weeks.
11 straight weeks.
They've been amongst the best in football, right? And yes, you can only beat the opponent that is in front of you. But the Bears have done that now for the last 3 weeks. And that's something that maybe they didn't take advantage of against the Colts, a very winnable game. But now you've seen for 3 straight weeks, they've scored 24 points or more against the Rams, Panthers, and Jaguars. And, they've upped the ante against both the Panthers and Jaguars, right? Yeah. 36 and 35 points. I mean, you've had an offense that has gone 2 consecutive games where they've scored 5 offensive touchdowns. They haven't needed the help of the defense to put up those points.
Yeah.
It's something to be very excited about. Bears fans, are you heading into the bye at 4-2? Are you starting to get excited about the possibilities of what this season could bring about? I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but the playoffs, it feels like at this point now, because of where the Bears are at as they head into the bye, that they're going every game from here on out. It's going to be very important because the playoffs, I think, are at stakes as you head into divisional play a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you have to be excited about where you're at if you're a Bears fan right now. Again, there are people that are going to, and you gotta get these people out of your life, right? The people that are like, well, it's only these guys, right? Well, I couldn't switch which team
exactly
that I was going to play on Sunday. I'm sorry that the Bears won against the teams that they won against. I'm sorry that the Bears beat the Panthers and beat the Jaguars, right? Like, my bad. I didn't set the schedule.
Neither did the Bears.
But you're 4-2. Going into your bye week, you have an offense that is ascending. You have a defense that, while being completely banged up and losing more pieces throughout the game, and Kyler Gordon going down with that hamstring injury early on, gets ruled out. You have a defense that not only was still able to maintain the level of consistency that we've seen from them, but you had backup players who were making impact plays. Elijah Hicks knocking the football away on what should have been a Gabe Davis touchdown. Now, Gabe Davis might already been dropping that ball. I'm going to give Hicks some credit on that for getting over there. Gabe Davis might have been dropping that ball, though. But
that might be a Bears-tinted optimism there, but we'll give it to him.
But you had guys who were not the number one, not the number two guy, showing up and making impact plays on this defense. That speaks to how good this defense actually is. You also had on the offense, you go out of this, I should say, heading into your bye week, feeling the best that you have felt about an offensive coordinator since Matt Nagy 2018?
Yeah, I think definitely. Because since then, it's been no confidence in any of the OCs the Bears have had calling the plays. To your point, the first touchdown to Cole Kmet, beautiful play design. You love the double screen tight end go/delay, however you want to call it. But, a beautiful play design.
Yeah.
Caleb does a nice job just firing it in there to Cole Kmet, who also doubled up with the long snapper duty when Scott Daly had to leave due to a knee injury. So he was forced out of the game. Cole Kmet just doing everything you want from him, showing you why he's a glue guy on this roster, right? Like, I will push back at times when, say, people want to vault him up in the elite status of tight ends. But what he is a glue guy who does the dirty work. And then again, when called upon, I know Matt Eberflus gave him a little bit of love when they asked him about, how often does Cole Kmet really go about practicing the long snaps? And Eberflus offered up. He said every Thursday he's out there. He takes it serious. So, and that's what you need from a guy like Cole Kmet, a true team leader. He was, not just a weapon in the passing game, but again, stepping up, being the backup long snapper when you needed him. He had 5 catches, 70 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and continues to be, like I said, a real glue guy and leader in the locker room.
I would push back that Cole Kmet is just a glue guy, though. I think that with how tight ends have changed, or I shouldn't say changed, but that there's more tight ends that are more receivers now. We look at those guys as the elites of the elites, right? Cole Kmet's a tight end.
Yes, he's a more traditional.
Is a traditional tight end, and he is a really, really good tight end. Does not mean he is great. Does not mean that he is an elite tight end in this NFL. Your Kelce's, your Kittles, guys like that are always going to be the number ones because they're getting more touchdowns, they're getting more yards. Those are the guys you're going to look at as the greatest tight ends of all time, more than that Shannon Sharp, Antonio Gates kind of Rob Gronkowski, right? But when you talk about just a pure tight end, a guy who I need you to block right here, doesn't always do a great job, but getting better as the season has gone on.
He's generally somebody you can count on in the blocking game.
Yes,
he's not a zero. He's not a glorified slot receiver that, to your point, a lot of tight ends like Travis Kelce are.
Brock Bowers now. Every time I see Brock Bowers, I'm like, that's a tall wide receiver standing out there, right? Like, I think that you have, like you said, you can count on him. I give him credit for the type of player he is. I do wish he would look to avoid some contact, because even on the play where he scores the touchdown, I'm like, why'd you run into the guy? Like, why didn't you use the size and keep him at bay? Why should you go into him?
Where was the juke button on that one?
I don't need a juke. Give me a stiff arm. Do the strongman things, right? Just push him away from you. Keep him at bay. But, I think that as a tight end, though, there's not too many more
I look at and say, I can count on you more than Cole Kmet. Please don't take glue guy as derisive in any way, shape, or form. It's my way. I'm complimenting him in that
he does the dirty work.
He does whatever they need to get
leader,
it done.
team leader. That's what I really, when I see Cole Kmet, that's what I think of more than anything else. And if you really want to break it down, I think the Bears are getting value for what they're paying for. They're paying him, like a top 10 tight end in this league, and he's giving them top tight end production when you factor everything in. So it was a good game for him. Good game for Caleb Williams. Throws 4 touchdown passes. Could have had a 5th, but DJ Moore. Now, the 5th was the old variety of the old shovel pass. No. I'm talking about. You're talking about the interception.
Yeah.
I was talking about the shovel pass to DJ Moore, where DJ Moore's knee was down. It could have been a 5th touchdown pass for Caleb Williams. We will talk about the interception. Probably that was by far and away Caleb Williams' worst play of the day. He had a wide open DJ Moore. He just floated the ball.
That might be worst play of the season. That was a bad throw.
And you know what? Let's hope that's the case. It absolutely was, because he had DJ Moore wide open. If he fires it in there, you kind of get that to where you wonder if that's still the speed of the game, and Caleb having to, this is again his rookie year. All growth is not going to be linear. There's going to be up and down moments throughout the season. But what you do like in that moment is back to the defense, the complementary football they're playing. I heard Kurt Warner, Eberflus say it multiple times throughout the broadcast. It was a complementary football game. They've been doing that a lot. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
I've used that word on numerous occasions the last few post games. They're doing a good job. When the offense has needed to step up the last couple of weeks, they absolutely have. When the defense has needed to step up for the offense in moments like that, where, it could have been, okay, you're letting the Jags back in this game. No, the defense steps up, gets a stop, gets the Bears the ball right back, and gives Caleb the opportunity to kind of just let that one go and go down and get a touchdown before the end of the half.
Right.
So all in all, again, they're playing really well together as units. They're doing a nice job. And then 4 touchdowns for Caleb Williams today. Really good production. Couple of touchdowns for Cole Kmet. Couple of touchdowns for Keenan Allen. Good to see him worked into the passing game. Looks like he's finally back and healthy. The guy they thought they were getting when they traded for him this offseason. And again, another now week of a bye for everyone to hopefully heal up, lick their wounds. Hopefully some of those key defensive players, specifically, we'll see what Kyler Gordon can do. Hamstring injury.
That's dangerous. Those are tough.
Yeah.
Because you never know, right? You might be feeling good one day.
Yes.
And you go out there and try to ramp back up, and I'm right back out.
It's good to have the bye.
Yeah.
But the truth is, we'll see how it goes. If they need to take a little extra time with Kyler Gordon, you'd actually prefer they do that rather than try and rush him back and see a re-injury, because that's always the concern with hamstring injuries. He left today's game, did not return. Of course, Jaquan Brisker did not travel with the team.
Right.
But to that point again, if you're someone who's saying, you know what, I'm not going to allow myself to get too excited because it's just the Jaguars, this is why you can be happy and optimistic about the team, because they took on the Jaguars with some injuries that they were dealing with, and it was a laugher for the Bears all the way through.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that, the Bears took advantage of it. Maybe there was some jet lag that did play in there as well, right? They got in a little bit late. The Bears took advantage of a Jaguars team that is struggling. But I think, again, right, we saw this Jaguars team. Everybody said, maybe last week's the week that you get it together. They figured it out. They're starting to do some things well. Maybe not. You know what I mean? I love the fact that the Bears defense, tough first drive, gets down there. You're like, this could be a touchdown here. Now we're going to get a big stop.
Absolutely.
Force them to get a field goal, right? Those stops on those opening drives, now I would love if you would stop letting them get into the red zone. But those stops on those opening drives where, they feel like they have the confidence, they feel like they have the momentum, those are killers.
Those are game swinging drives.
Yes.
When you consider that, there was on that opening drive, I believe the Jags had come up with 3 straight first downs. The defense was really, struggling to stop them and to hold them. Now, granted, the Jags helped them out with a couple of silly plays, a couple of false starts. I believe there was a drop pass in there. So the Jags certainly helped the Bears out. Nevertheless, though, to hold them to a field goal on the opening drive was huge. And then, of course, just to allow the Bears, to find the Bears offense to find their footing, right? That's what you need, because it was a struggle in the first quarter. I read you all those stats from the Bears offensive players. Consider that Caleb Williams goes for 226 yards, and they really didn't do anything in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So that in itself is impressive. All right, 312-332-3776. Phone lines are open if you want to jump in and talk Bears with us. Their win over the Jags in London before they head to the bye. They're now 4-2. Taking your calls, and we'll play for you a lot of sound as well if you missed it. Caleb Williams, Matt Eberflus. We'll let you hear from the Jags head coach. Had an interesting halftime interview. Met Doug Peterson. Sounded like a guy who already knows that this could be that could have been his second to last game as the head coach of the Jags. So plenty to talk about here on the home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
ESPN Chicago.
This is ESPN Chicago. Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman. 5 a.m. Cap and J Hood at 7. Greeny with Mike Greenberg at 10. Carmen and Yurko. Now noon to 3. Waddle and Silk. Now 2:30 to 6:30. Black and Abdallah at 6:30. This is Chicago's home for sports on AM, FM, and always streaming on the ESPN Chicago app.
Hey guys, it's Sylvie for Window Nation. Not only is October the best sports month on the calendar, it's also the best time to buy windows from my friends at Window Nation. Call them today at 866-90Nation. The weather's about to turn. You need these energy efficient windows from Window Nation. Don't let your heating bills skyrocket because the heat escapes your home and the cold air comes in. I've saved 30% year over year on my energy bills thanks to my new windows from Window Nation. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free with no limit. The more you buy, the more you're going to save, but they're never going to upsell you. Another great reason why October's the best month to buy. Right now, no interest or payments for 24 months. Think about all the money you can save by paying off your project with that deal. Call today, 866-90Nation. This sale ends October 31st, so act now. 866-90Nation or go to windownation.com and let them know that Sylvie sent you.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites like Little Caesars. This week, buy 1 Ultimate Supreme and get an extra most bestest pepperoni pizza free from Little Caesars, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on burgers, tacos, wings, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
Mira, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Want to buy a vehicle in 60 minutes or less? Purchase your next vehicle in 60 minutes or less at Advantage Chevrolet Bridgeview, or your first car payment is on them. And every new Chevy comes with the Advantage Plus program. Together, let's drive. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Dave Musil, owner of 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric. You've seen those free furnace ads, or those free with the purchase of any air conditioner. Well, we all know those are too good to be true. At 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric, we give an upfront, honest price. And I personally guarantee to beat any buy one, get one free offer by $1,000. Guaranteed. That's right. Any free furnace offer, I'll beat it by $1,000. Guaranteed. So call today.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
Postgame continues now on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Meller, and Pat the Designer.
They put Caleb under center, a bunch set of tight ends and a Dunze to the right. Swift the back, takes a snap, 3 steps, throwing, lob, left corner of the end zone. Keenan Allen, touchdown! Touchdown Bears! Working on Brown. 2 touchdowns for Cole Kmet. 2 touchdowns for Keenan Allen, and a 4-pack for number 18, Caleb Williams, on the international stage here in London. And the Bears increase their lead to 27-10, point pending.
Some pretty throws from Caleb Williams today on display. A lot of that arm talent was available for your perusing pleasure today. Early on, again, the 8:30 kickoff, 8:30 Central Time. I believe that's a 2:30 local time kick in London for the Bears as they beat the Jaguars and move to 4-2 as they enter the bye week. A lot A lot of flexing going on by the NFC North today because the Bears have their big win. Right now, the Packers are on top of the Arizona Cardinals at home, 24-10. Although I will say the Cardinals have added 10 points since halftime. So maybe, just maybe, the Cards can do us a little bit of favor here and help out the Bears fans and maybe make a comeback in that game. But we shall see how that one turns out. Of course, the Vikings are on bye after their London affair against the Jets. And then, of course, the Lions will have the afternoon matchup against the Cowboys in Dallas today. That is a 3:25 kick. 312-332-3776. Talking Bears with you on the home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago. Let's go on out to Frank, who's on the south side. Frank, you're on with Jeff Meller and Pat the Designer.
My boys, hey, I feel good. Bears got this victory. We 4-2 going to the bye week. We could get out our players that snaked up 2 weeks to come back. But what I want to talk about the defensive player of the game to me was Cal Gordon. He made up and he was unstoppable on the blitz.
Yeah.
He got into the backfield. He made 2 tackles for losses. Then he almost made a sack in the backfield. But another person I want to talk about is Mr. Phone Booth, Keenan Allen. He got us out of so many third down situations. He was like Travis Kelce to Patrick Mahomes, but he on the Bears. And he got Caleb Williams out of so many jams that I think even with 40 yards, he's worth the money we paying him right now. I sit back and I want to hear y'all talk about that.
Good stuff, Frank. Thanks for the enthusiasm, man. I do like that. He's a believer, Pat. And listen, truth be told, I'm excited that hopefully Keenan Allen is back and now healthy, and he's somebody that Caleb can rely upon, because once all those receiving options are healthy and feeling good, this is when you can actually say, okay, I can see this Bears offense taking off. DeAndre Swift, another productive day as well, not just in the passing game, but as a runner today. So all those players, if they're healthy, they're going to complement each other well. And they all do something, in terms of like when it comes to man-to-man coverage. DJ Moore is one of the best receivers against man-to-man. Conversely, Keenan Allen against zone, one of the best receivers in the NFL over the last 5 years. So having those two guys play off each other, depending on what defenses like to do, I think is going to be really nice for the Bears. And, I'm with you, Frank. I think it could be a sign of really good things to come.
Yeah, no, I think the thing I love about how Keenan Allen was getting used today was Keenan Allen was that third down weapon that you knew that you could count on. Got targeted 5 times, brought in 5 passes, and then, of course, in the end zone. I mean, listen, if you're going to have to throw a football up to anybody, I love the fact there's a play, Bears don't end up converting on the right side. They ran it back-to-back times. So it was that, or you see the offensive line all going out. They get the illegal formation called on them. They're all going to the right, and the pass is supposed to go to Keenan Allen. And Caleb Williams doesn't throw it the first time. Doesn't like what he sees. Throws it out of bounds. It's not there.
Yep.
Shane Waldron goes, run it again.
Yep.
And throw it to Keenan Allen.
Well, I don't know if he said that.
I don't know if he said throw it to him.
I just know that you love that Caleb's conviction, right?
Yes.
Understanding what he's got.
And even, like just the trust of that. They didn't defend it any different. They had it guarded up very similarly to the way they had it guarded up the first time. And Caleb Williams threw it away. Second time out, Caleb Williams says, all right, let's take a chance to see if he comes away with it. You don't get a touchdown there, but that kind of trust is the kind of thing that when you build that between a quarterback and a wide receiver, you can count on that week in and week out. And that's why, to me, this all feels so different, right? I can count on Keenan Allen on third down week in and week out. I can count on DJ Moore versus man-to-man week in and week out. Based on how it looks right now, it looks like you can count on Caleb Williams to process, see what the defense is doing, process it, and make a decision that more times than not is going to turn out good for the Chicago Bears. Now we just need that consistency on that throw to be there. He did a good job today. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. It should have been 5. That was a wide open play. But even to that, right? The play design. I think that Shane Waldron is showing me through 3 weeks that there is some consistency and him being able to come up with play calls that will confuse the defense, but also a ugability to say, well, you know what? We need to do it simple this time. You know what's worked for us in the past 3 weeks? Doug Kramer, the Duggernaut, right, in the backfield. That's working for us. That's one where we can run and get a first down on that if we need it. So we can take a chance here, but we've got this that we can fall back on. I love that we're getting to this point where coming out of the bye week, it feels like things are going to be consistent.
That's Pat the Designer. I'm Jeff Meller. We're taking your calls on the post-game show on ESPN 1000. Let's head on out to Germany. It looks like we have a Bears fan out in Deutschland. Patrick, are you going to take in the Giants and Panthers game in Week 10 in Germany, or are you just a Bears fan in Germany?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Nah, I'm just a Bears fan. Ain't nothing but the Bears over here, man.
I love it.
Totally get it. Listen, I wouldn't go to the Panthers and Giants if it was being played in my backyard. In fact, I'd probably close.
Right? Oh man,
I'd probably close the blinds if it was going on in my backyard. So, but what do you got?
That's right.
What'd you like, Patrick?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I just want to talk about the momentum going to the bye week because even though we won against the two teams, that's not really clicking at this moment, but we got to remember the the Panthers and the
Rams,
Jaguars. They came up with wins.
Yep.
Yeah, they came up with wins. And they looked actually better, but they played us. We took them out their game. So the thing is that even though they don't have the greatest record, they were playing decent. They played decent. They won their games, and we beat them. And we're still figuring things out, and we won 4 games in that process. So that's showing a lot right there. So in this bye week, you can look at the last 6 games, look at that, analyze it, clean everything up, and then go into the Commanders game and and play well. I believe that the Bears will, and I'm proud of Bears. I'm not looking for them to go to the Super Bowl. I was looking for them to improve, and Caleb is showing that right now, guys.
Yeah, no, you're right, Patrick. I think it absolutely is for Bears fans. It's time to start to get excited about what you're seeing from Caleb Williams. I think we can get past the idea of being, concerned that, he's going to be a bust. Granted, the first couple weeks, they were rough, but he wasn't getting any help from the offensive line. To your point, Patrick, now just for it to be factually correct, the Panthers were coming off of a loss, but the prior week they had beaten the Raiders. Andy Dalton had their offense playing better. They, of course, lost to that Bengals in that week.
24 points in that Bengals game, I think it was.
So they were looking better, so I get what you're saying. The Bears stepped up, and they were playing the competition that was in front of them and getting wins. They're 4-2 now as they head to the bye. We know that the schedule is going to be much tougher out of the bye.
Yeah.
He mentioned the Commanders. Right now, they are trailing the Baltimore Ravens. We've got the game up right now watching it. They're losing to Lamar Jackson 20-13 in the third quarter. We'll see how that one plays out. Of course, there's going to be a lot of hype surrounding Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. The matchup, the showdown. It's going to be fun, right? And it's good as Bears fans to watch the Bears at 4-2 head to the bye week and have a lot of momentum where they can be positive going forward.
Yeah, no, listen, this game, to me, these next couple of games, right? This one and then this next one that we play against Washington, they both meant something to me for Caleb Williams. I think that they mean more because Caleb's one of those guys that knows the storylines, right? He knows what people are saying about things. He knew coming into this game, right? Hey, Trevor Lawrence, last generational guy, right? Remember, we were all, well, I wasn't saying that. I didn't believe him. But there were a lot of people that were on the Trevor Lawrence is going to change the tide for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's going to be a generational guy. He can do no wrong. Caleb knows that. He knows the stigma they have out against him. So you got to go out there and prove, hey, that was the guy that was what I am now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you how much better than him I am. And I think you saw that in today's game. I think heading into this Commanders game, coming out of the bye, Jaden Daniels, number 2 overall pick, you think he doesn't hear the storylines of, Bears probably should have took Jaden. Jaden looks good. And listen, Jaden does look good. In this game right now, he is 17 for 24, 180 yards with a 106 quarterback rating. He's not doing a bad job versus a really good defense out here. So that there's truth in that. But do you think that he should have been taken over Caleb Williams and that Caleb doesn't hear that? Oh, okay. I'll see you in Washington. I would assume he's probably on the plane getting ready to head back right now, already looking at this game and breaking down Jaden Daniels and Washington defense tape and all of that, because you know what you're preparing for. You're trying to prove that you're the best, and I think Caleb has that kind of mindset.
Yeah, the Commanders are 4-1 right now, again, trailing though, so we'll see where they're at, but that game obviously will be that could be huge for playoff implications. Yep. We know that the Bears are going to be in a dogfight all year because the NFC North looks like the best division in football, and that you've got teams like the Commanders who are rising as well. Their defense certainly looks gettable, so it should be an opportunity for Caleb to take advantage of a weaker defense, but they're going to have to score points in all likelihood to keep pace with the Washington Commanders. 312-332-3776. We're hanging out till 3:30. I'm Jeff Meller, Pat the Designer, on the Postgame show on ESPN 1000.
ESPN Chicago.
Hey, fellas, feeling a bit like Clark Kent when you'd rather be Superman? Well, say hello to BlueChew.com, the chewable tablets that turn oh no into oh hell yes. Blue Chew delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a form that's easy to chew and gets you ready to go when the mood is right. Now with Vardenafil mint-flavored chewables, fresh breath, and a rock-solid confidence. Yes, please. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no awkward doctor visits, no pharmacy lines. It shows up right at your door like magic. So why wait? Take control of your sex life like I did with Blue Chew. Because who doesn't want to be a bedroom superhero? Here's a special treat for you guys from The Good Kid. Try Blue Chew free with code ESPN at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code ESPN to receive your first month free. That's BlueChew.com. Like The Good Kid always says, chew it and do it.
Gary Owen. I always took a lot of personal pride in keeping all my personal business off the internet. You know, and we all got those people, they want to put all their business out there every day on Facebook and Instagram. And they always start their posts out like this. Now, y'all know I don't like putting my personal business out there. I go, no, you put all your business out there. That's why I follow you.
Gary Owen.
I go to your page and feel better about my life, right?
Saturday, November 16th at the venue at Horseshoe Casino. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Play smart. Must be 21 or older to gamble or attend events.
Hi, this is Dave Musial, owner of Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric. You've seen those free furnace ads or those free with the purchase of any air conditioner. Well, we all know those are too good to be true. At Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric, we give an upfront, honest price. And I personally guarantee to beat any buy one, get one free offer by $1,000. Guaranteed. That's right. Any free furnace offer, I'll beat it by $1,000. Guaranteed. So call today.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
This is ESPN Chicago, WNVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Postgame continues now on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Meller, and Pat the Designer.
We're going Sands fullback today. J-Mac was on the pregame show this morning as the Bears got things going early today in London. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 35-16, moving to 4-2 before they head into the bye this week. For all you listening at home, just a little programming notes. Head coach Matt Eberflus will be joining Cap and J Hood tomorrow, but a little bit later than usual. Usually he drops in about 8:25. Tomorrow he's going to join the boys about 9:20. So Bears head coach Matt Eberflus, 9:20 with Cap and J Hood. So set your alarms and make sure you're ready for that as the Bears head into the bye week. I am Jeff Meller, along with Pat the Designer. We're hanging out with you, talking Bears football, that win over the Jags this morning. And it was a very quick London game. Yeah. One of the quicker London games I've ever seen, Pat. They were done and wrapped up. I believe it was 11:28 when the clock struck zero. So it was a quick moving London game because they had the pregame festivities. So it didn't even kick off till like 8:35, I think, when things finally got underway. So it was a quick moving football game. And thus we are on the air hanging out with you until 3:30. Let's try Steve, who's out on the Stevenson. Steve, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call. I'm going to kind of piggyback on that thought you had earlier about Caleb making good decisions. One of my favorite plays is when he gets flushed out of the pocket. You think he's going to throw it away, but then he finds full commit, big gain. Just love to see that kind of decision-making out of him, really showing his development as a quarterback. So it's something that when I looked at that, I was like, hey, we're going in the right direction here.
No, it's a great point, Steve. When he scrambles to throw, right?
Yes.
He's got the capability. We saw that a couple times where he can rip off some big gainers with his legs, but he keeps his eyes up when he breaks the pocket. And, that is the stark difference from the previous quarterback who we wanted. I'm not even going to say his name because I don't want to invite the hate. But the truth is that is the difference. And that's why when you see Caleb Williams break out of the pocket and still has the ability to run, he's still, though, looking for the big play via the pass. Yeah. Why? Because you have to be an extraordinary athlete to rip off, long gainers when the open receivers are there for you to make plays, right? And so if you can use your arm in those situations, you would prefer to do so. And to your point, Steve, yeah, I think Kurt Warner even commented on that particular play where he's like, I think Caleb was looking to get rid of that ball, but at the last moment he saw Cole Kmet come open. And so it's those type of plays that make him potentially a special player in this league, and why, anybody who was in favor of the Bears drafting Caleb, it's plays like that lead you to believe that if things, I don't know if it's this year, probably not, but the growth a couple of years from now, it's why I believe Caleb Williams could be amongst the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, listen, you feel great about it because it's one of those, the play should be dead in this moment. He finds a way to keep that play alive by keeping his eyes down the field, right?
And Pat, not just that though, like those are the plays, those out of structure plays that become big gainers too, right? Those big explosive plays, because the defense has a hard time accounting for those guys.
Right. And they're playing up. They're sitting there. Yep. They're coming up. They're like, okay, Caleb's scrambling. We got to make sure that he doesn't utilize his legs. He just threw it over us. Oh, that's not good, right? Even when he did utilize his legs, I thought the one where he almost gets into the end zone, gets hit. Stop taking hits. Just run out of bounds there. I didn't like that. But he gets hit going toward the end zone. The defender, the DB that was guarding, I think it was DJ Moore over there, is so locked in on making sure that DJ Moore is out of bounds and stays out of bounds. He doesn't pay attention to the fact that Caleb Williams is running right behind him because they're so worried about what this guy can do with his arm, not just with his legs. And that just makes the legs more important. And I think that when I watched him today, I literally was just sitting there doing the watch party and I started squinting my eyes and I was like, dang it, he looks like Rodgers. When in those moments of
absolutely,
I'm about to get him down. He's about to take a sack. He's standing in the pocket to the very last minute, sometimes to his detriment, like we talk about with Aaron Rodgers sometimes. But that little shoulder drop, don't know how he got away. You think he's going to take off, and he fires one over the middle of the field. That is a 20-yard gain all of a sudden. I was like, this looks like the thing that terrorized us for 20-plus years, and it's finally on our team. And I'm excited about what that can do. By the way, 6 games in.
Yep.
Go back and watch Aaron Rodgers 6 games in. After sitting.
Yes,
it didn't look like this. It didn't look immaculate. I remember I think they were 2-4 in his first 6 games. And by like that 6th game, they were like, he keeps playing like this. They're going to be looking for another quarterback. They didn't look for another quarterback for 20 years.
Caleb Williams through 6 games, 1,317 passing yards, 65% completion percentage, 9 touchdowns, 5 INTs. So he's, slowly but surely he's creeping up and getting closer to that 4,000-yard pace, that magical number, which the Bears have still never had eclipsed in their franchise history. I feel pretty good about saying that Caleb will be the first guy to do it at some point in his Bears career, and it only looks more positive after a day like today in the Bears win over the Jaguars. All right, I mentioned to you that Caleb Williams joined Jason McKee on the postgame show. In the postgame show, when we usually have J-Mac alongside us, I'll let you get your fill of some J-Mac as he interviews the Bears starting quarterback today after their win.
First off, Caleb, congrats on the big win. How early do you get the game plan, and has all the plays been scripted in terms of the first 15?
We get the game plan towards the end of the week. Obviously, you gotta put in plays, and you get an idea of what you'll be running. When you watch film on Monday and Tuesday, the type of coverage, contour, and things like that they have in run. So you get an idea, and then obviously you get there on that next day, and you're there. You're getting the run game and getting the pass game the next day, and all of that. So we end up obviously getting it at the end of the week. Obviously after our Tuesday off, we did a great job today. Coming out with the win in London.
How much influence do you have on the game plan, Caleb? Does Shane allow you to throw in some plays that you like, protections, route concepts, and all those things?
Yeah, we talk. We communicate, whether it's protections, whether it's, pass game, plays that I like, plays that I don't like, things like that. And understanding the other team's personnel and, how we can affect them to slow them down, whether it's, the defensive line, whether it's the linebackers or, they blitz a lot or, whatever the case may be. And sometimes, it may be chips. Sometimes it may be running the ball a good amount. Maybe it's, throwing the ball downfield, short passing game or even tempo. So I think we did a good job there.
We've seen you flourish the last few weeks, especially when you guys are going up tempo. Is that something that you feel real comfortable with in terms of, getting the plays in fast and you being able to just line up and just go?
Yeah, I think getting to the line, I think it helps overall, just all of us. Especially when you have the first two drives, like you said, you only run 6 plays. So making sure we get something going and get the tempo, get the body temperature and everything going, get everybody going. I think Tempo does a good job of that, and we do a good job throughout the week, making sure we're executing the right way with those tempo plays.
4 touchdown passes on the day. It seems like you and Cole Kmet have been really building upon that relationship and chemistry out there on the field. Break down the first touchdown pass. You hit Cole on the seam over the middle of the field. Break down that play for us.
Yeah, so we knew the whole week that their backers are fast flow backers. And they attack and, they get after it. So, with all the motions that we had in that play and the crisscross of, the running back and Keenan and then Cole faking, like he's bluffing the block and then going down the seam. I think it was a good play call. I think the guys ran it to perfection. With timing and things like that. And all I had to do was throw a layup to Cole.
Yeah, every week it also seems like there's a different receiver that steps up and has a big game. We've seen Rome against the Colts have a big game. We saw DJ last week against the Panthers. And this week, we finally get to see the wily veteran and Keenan Allen come up with 2 touchdown passes, especially in the red zone. Was that a big part of the game plan, getting him involved, and in particular in the red zone?
Yeah, obviously. You want to talk. I mean, I talk, but you want to get these guys going. Obviously encouraging them that we're going to get them going throughout the weeks. And obviously that hasn't happened. And so being able to get them going today, a couple of weeks into the season. I know we've had a few, like the first game of the season, we missed on the out ball to the left. The other day versus the Rams, we missed on a seam ball, not a seam ball, but a ball down the seam. Those would have been touchdown balls. And, we're missing on those, and we wanted to make sure we get him going because having someone like that, having full of energy, ready to go. He's been great every week, and his attitude and all these different things. So definitely want to get him going.
Coach Luce talked about this week playing clean, in particular on offense, and you guys played clean today. I think you only had 2 offensive penalties. Has that really contributed to the success you guys have had offensively the last few weeks?
No, I think it contributes to the leaders that we have. I think it contributes to the details that we've been focusing on throughout the week. Understanding that we needed to be better from the start of the season to now, where we need to keep getting better. Those 2 penalties, the wide open interception that I threw today. There's a lot to get better at, and we're going to keep doing that.
Yeah, let's talk about that interception, Caleb. I know you guys are 3rd and 1. You guys go big. You bring in Doug Kramer at fullback. You bring in Kieran Amagaje. And we all think that, hey, you know what? You're going to, run the football, convert on 3rd down. You guys take a shot play. You go deep to DJ Moore. Break down that play for us.
Yeah, so we've been practicing the play. They've been, knowing them. They packed the box in. And then they ended up dropping out. DJ, he ran a great route. I just didn't extend it to the back pylon like we practice. Next time, I'll do that. I'll throw a better ball and be better for the team.
Talk about how much does it lessen the pressure on you in terms of when you guys get the running game going? DeAndre Swift had another big game. Roschon Johnson was also effective when he got his carries. How much does that alleviate the pressure from you having to make all the plays?
Yeah, no. I've said this before that the run game, is a part of football. It's a part of the offense. It's a part of us as a personality. It's a part of us in winning games and things like that, controlling the clock. So, even today in the 4-minute period, I told the guys we had about 6 minutes left on the clock when we got the ball. And, I told the big guys that, it's on y'all. It's been on y'all, but right now it's only on y'all. And we're going to hand this daggone thing off and let y'all go to work.
I know the bye week's coming up, and I hate to get ahead. I know you want to enjoy the bye week, but obviously a big game coming up with you guys and the Commanders here in a few weeks. How excited are you to go up there in D.C., but also to face a guy who you're real familiar with, Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, you're obviously excited for every game. To go back home and face the Redskins, Commanders. Sorry, that's how the Redskins is the team that I grew up on. But the Commanders, Washington Commanders, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Can't wait.
Last question for you, Caleb. What was the most memorable moment this week throughout your time in London other than, winning this big game today?
I would say, us hanging out in the hotel. We're about an hour from the city, so we spend a lot of time, and hanging out, lunchroom, laughing and joking, player lounge, meetings, and all these, practices and things like that we had. I think that was the most fun. And then, most enjoyable thing was, my family was able to come out, my lady's family, first time ever seeing me play. So it was really exciting.
There you go. Caleb Williams, fresh off of a 4-touchdown performance, the first of his NFL career, joining us here on the home of the Chicago Bears with Jason McKee in the postgame, as he does each and every week right here on the Bears Radio Network. So pretty cool to always have the Bears quarterback joining our broadcast during game days after win or loss, but obviously much better after a win. And the Bears get that win today, 35-16, as they head to the bye before they will get the Washington Commanders coming out of the bye. And of course, the Commanders right now trailing the Baltimore Ravens 27-13 at the end of the third quarter. So the Commanders could be heading to a matching 4-2 record if they don't mount a comeback in that one. Elsewhere around the league, you've got the Philadelphia Eagles and Cleveland Browns all tied up at 13 apiece in the midway through the fourth quarter. The Packers have extended their lead against the Cardinals. They're on top 31-13 with 3 minutes and change remaining in the third quarter. The Saints are on top of the Buccaneers 27-24, but Tampa has the ball right now at their own 8-yard line. So we'll see if they can do anything to try and tie that one or maybe grab the lead. The Titans are on top of the Colts 17-13 with a surprise start from Joe Flacco. That one was not announced until earlier today. Anthony Richardson, the third string quarterback for the Colts today. Joe Flacco actually not having a great day. He's 16 of 27, 134 yards and a touchdown against the Titans secondary, which can be gotten. And then I believe that is, and the Houston Texans right now are beating the New England Patriots 27-7 with 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter there. A couple of afternoon games. The one we're obviously watching closely will be the Detroit Lions as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, the Steelers in Vegas, and then the Chargers off of the bye head to Denver to take on the Broncos. 312-332-3776, hanging out with you until 3:30. I'm Jeff Meller. He's Pat the Designer on the Postgame Show on ESPN 1000.
The new home of the Chicago Bears.
This is the new home of the Bears. Hear head coach Matt Eberflus exclusive on Cap and J Hood tomorrow morning at 8:20 on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
Hey golfers, it's Sylvie. I've been talking about Chicago Southland's finest golf course for years, the Sanctuary in New Lenox. The Sanctuary offers 18 holes of great golf on a beautiful course. The track may be a challenge, but it's an easy drive from anywhere in Chicagoland. Sanctuary features a 20-bay heated top tracer range, a 30-station grass range, a putting green, and a short game area. Check out golfsanctuary.com for the best rates and book your tee time. You no longer need to find your golf sanctuary.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway, exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, fellas, feeling a bit like Clark Kent when you'd rather be Superman? Well, say hello to BlueChew.com, the chewable tablets that turn oh no into oh hell yes. Blue Chew delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a form that's easy to chew and gets you ready to go when the mood is right. Now with Vardenafil mint-flavored chewables, fresh breath, and a rock-solid confidence. Yes, please. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no awkward doctor visits, no pharmacy lines. It shows up right at your door like magic. So why wait? Take control of your sex life like I did with Blue Chew. Because who doesn't want to be a bedroom superhero? Here's a special treat for you guys from The Good Kid. Try Blue Chew free with code ESPN at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code ESPN to receive your first month free. That's BlueChew.com. Like The Good Kid always says, chew it and do it.
You were born to move forward, to reach higher, grow stronger, and strive for more. At People's Bank, we are dedicated to advancing your financial journey alongside you. Choose a partner that moves with you, because standing still isn't an option. With 26 locations across Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana, People's Bank is where better banking continues to evolve. Our renovated Midlothian Banking Center is now open. Visit ibankpeoples.com to learn more. People's Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
This season, beat the holiday rush and shop Astound.com for bigger deals, bigger savings, and bigger internet. For a limited time, get Astound Internet for only $20 a month for 2 years. Plus, add 5G unlimited Astound Mobile free for 12 months. Our award-winning fiber-powered internet can handle it all. Faster streaming, better gaming, and secure online shopping. Lock in bigger savings than ever before at Astound.com. Restrictions apply. See Astound.com for details.
When it comes to looking sharp, I don't mess around. That's why I head to White Buffalo Barbershop. These guys aren't just barbers, they're artists. Whether it's a classic cut, a fresh fade, or a hot shave, they do it all with precision. And the vibe is top-notch, blending tradition with a modern twist. At White Buffalo, every cut is as unique as you are, born original, just like you.
White Buffalo Barbershop, born original. Now in LaGrange and Hinsdale. Visit whitebuffalobarbershop.com to book your appointment today.
Welcome back to Bears Postgame. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Miller, and Pat the Designer on the new home of the Chicago Bears, ESPN Chicago.
Bears had themselves a little tea party in London. Celebration, Keenan Allen on his first touchdown.
4 of 7 on third down. Here's Caleb with Roschon to his left. DJ out to the left side, right side. Slotting Adunze with Komet and Keenan Allen. Snap to Caleb. Good protection. Middle of the field, up in the air, over the middle for the touchdown. Touchdown Bears. And it's Keenan Allen.
And they had a tea party as a celebration in the end zone. That made the score 20-3. The Bears would go on to beat the Jaguars 35-16. And it wasn't even that close, Pat.
No.
It was, you have to love yourself. I mean, this has got to be one of the most relaxing Sundays for Bears fans in a long, long time. When you consider before the clock struck 11:30, you had yourself a win in your back pocket as a Bears fan and a very, very convincing one where you did not even have to sweat it out after halftime.
Yeah, if we're being honest, I mean, 16 points. There was not 16 points scored in this game. I mean, there were literally, but by the end of the game, how often have we been in shell defense in a situation where you're going, there's no chance they come back here?
No.
Like, I don't even remember the last time we did. I remember watching the Detroit game and going, please don't go into shell defense. Like, please, like, play defense. Like, I don't want to see shell. I want you to make sure you don't lose this game like you did before. You lost it. Like, seeing them have an ability to go into shell and go, we know we can turn it back on if we need to.
Yeah.
It felt good. And having the offense score enough points for you to go, yeah, they're not coming back here. It just felt good.
It was 35-10
before the Jaguars could add that final touchdown. But that touchdown took 17 plays, to your point, where the Bears were sitting back in prevent, and the Jags, slowly matriculated the ball down the field, pretty much killing off any real chance of a comeback. And how about this little streak the Bears have started now? 2 games in a row where they've sent out Tyson Bagent in victory formation. You got to like that. We talked about it last week. Listen.
Here's the thing. I didn't mind it last week.
Yeah, I know you because of the chippiness. You mentioned that.
This week, let my man get his victory formation. I feel like he deserves a victory formation.
I don't know. I like this new trend of you're beating them so thoroughly that you can just kick back, relax, and send your backup in for victory formation. I'm loving it. I'm Jeff Meller. He's Pat the Designer. We're hanging out with you for another hour till 3:30, talking Bears and a win over the Jags as they head to the bye 4-2. And it looks like they're still going to be in last place in the division because right now the Packers seem to have, I don't know what weird tiebreaker.
Well, aren't the Packers technically in last place because they've lost a divisional game? I think that's how these standings work.
No, but I think it's because maybe
because they lost the Lions.
Well, it's not.
Lose to?
It's the Vikings.
Vikings.
But maybe you're right. All right, so there you go. 4-2, and it doesn't matter what the Packers end up doing today, even though right now they're beating the Cardinals 31-13. Marvin Harrison has left that game. He is out with concussion for the Cardinals, so going to make them mounting any sort of comeback even more difficult. Let's go on out to Green Bay and say hello to Rob. Rob, what's going on, man? You're on the post-game show.
Guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Good victory.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, go tell Kid that we have a quarterback. Finally, we have a quarterback. All the Packer fans, Lions fans, Minnesota fans, better watch out for this Bears team.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. This kid is a superstar in the making. But the problem is, do not break that offensive line because Bates is going to be coming back after the bye. Now, if we can get on a little winning streak and start beating our division, then they can start talking when we start beating these good teams. Like we could probably beat the 49ers because the 49ers are not the team that is legit because they have problems too.
So
with McCaffrey gone.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Rob, you never know. The NFL in a lot of ways is a week-to-week league because you never know what injuries are going to, first of all, you're going to have to deal with and also your opponent. So right now, you're right. The 49ers, they're dealing with their own issues. They've got plenty of injuries, but they did get a little bit healthier the last couple games. Kittle and Debo have both returned for them. So even though they're waiting out McCaffrey, who knows? CMC may be back by the time the Bears get a chance to take on the 49ers. All you can do is take advantage of the team on your schedule that week. The Commanders are up next. They just scored a touchdown. They're trying to fight their way back against Baltimore. They're right now trailing 27-19, extra point pending. So we'll see, what the Bears have in store for them when they get out of the bye. You're right. Ryan Bates will.
After this week, he's eligible to
return back from injured reserve. Now, interestingly enough, we haven't mentioned it yet, but Nate Davis was inactive today. Good to see that they finally, I think, come to the conclusion that a lot of Bears fans have come to that if he's going to be caught each week on a cut up where he's just standing around looking for someone to hit, enough, right? Like you're done with that because he's not offering much push. And then when he finds himself in situations where he doesn't even want to go out and hit a guy because he's just looking around for someone to hit, that was not a good look for him. I think Matt Pryor, I was encouraged by everything I saw from him in training camp. He's a competent offensive lineman. Tevin Jenkins, even though he was dealing with his own injury issues this week, was good to see him out there despite being listed as questionable heading into the game. Glad he was able to make it through the game too.
Yeah. Got to look back, but I feel like this was probably his best game of the season.
Yes, yeah, and we'll see what the the Pro Football Focus grade gives him. But I'm with you. The entire line played well. You mentioned it in the break to me. Both Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker are two legitimate edge rushers that the Jaguars brought to the table, and the Bears did a pretty good job of keeping Caleb Williams clean. And when he wasn't, he did a good job of escaping their rush outside of the pocket, running off some of those big rush games. So all in all, not a whole lot to be disappointed about. Really, I mean, outside of, Kyler Gordon suffering the hamstring injury, which nothing you can do about that. It's a contact sport. You're going to deal with those from time to time.
Right.
Not a whole lot to really be disappointed in from a Bears fan perspective. Maybe it was just the second quarter interception that Caleb threw when DJ Moore was what could have been wide open for a touchdown. Aside from that, really not a whole lot to complain about.
No, not at all. I mean, listen, even offensive line wise, right? You mentioned all of the things that possibly could be an issue. I think we're 3 weeks into this now, and you're starting to see an offensive line that has 5 guys that give a rat's about actually going out there and keeping Caleb Williams upright. I like that. The Nate Davis inactive, when I saw that come through today, I was like, finally, because there's probably some other position on the team that you can find value in there that we need this guy out here to play. You have now an offensive line that is all on the same page. That's what I can say about 3 weeks. Now, when you start playing better defensive lines, are we going to see some struggles? Are we going to see things different? Is Coleman Shelton going to be strong enough? We'll see. I think that's my concern with it is, did the things that weren't problems for the Bears or that were problems for the Bears just magically go away when we played worse competition?
I'll say this, and maybe call me a sucker, but I like I said, I think Pryor is a serviceable veteran he's a big-bodied guard.
Yeah,
he's played tackle in the league.
Massive.
He's huge. When you see him out there in person, we watched him in training camp. We watched him in
like 6'6". He reminds me of. You ever seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I was not a Brooklyn
Nine-Nine fan. For the people that watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine out there, he looks like Pimento from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but a large, scary human being as he walks past.
Yeah, no, I like him. I think he's given them somebody who they can count on in the middle of that offensive line. To your point about Coleman Shelton and our previous caller's point, you wonder when Ryan Bates gets back and healthy, if there's anybody's job he might take, it could be theoretically Coleman Shelton.
That was what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, so wouldn't be surprised if, for whatever reason, if Coleman Shelton, has some issues. But again, the offensive line as a unit played well today.
Yes.
They kept Caleb Williams pretty clean for the most part and gave him a pocket to throw from. So all in all, really good stuff from the Bears today. 312-332-3776. We're hanging out. We're here till 3:30 today, taking your calls after the Bears win. We'll also let you hear from the Bears head coach, Matt Eberflus, what he thought of today's performance. Maybe we'll do that after a call or two next, right here on the Postgame show on ESPN 1000.
ESPN Chicago.
Here comes the boom.
The Chicago Bears podcast.
Here comes the boom.
If you aren't listening, you're not getting the whole story. Join host Pat the Designer with special guests and guest host daily. See it or hear it now on the ESPN Chicago app or wherever you like to pod.
Yeah.
This is Jeff Joniak here to tell you about Ego Power Plus. Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Take it from me. I love the 22-inch Select Cut self-propelled lawnmower. It cuts my lawn in a single charge. Ego delivers the power and performance of gas, but without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Ego's patented 56-volt arc lithium battery technology is the heart and soul, the system, and what powers game-changing torque needed for demanding jobs. Learn more at egopowerplus.com. Ego, power beyond belief.
Hey guys, it's Sylvie for Window Nation. Not only is October the best sports month on the calendar, it's also the best time to buy windows from my friends at Window Nation. Call them today at 866-90Nation. The weather's about to turn. You need these energy efficient windows from Window Nation. Don't let your heating bills skyrocket because the heat escapes your home and the cold air comes in. I've saved 30% year over year on my energy bills thanks to my new windows from Window Nation. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free with no limit. The more you buy, the more you're going to save, but they're never going to upsell you. Another great reason why October's the best month to buy. Right now, no interest or payments for 24 months. Think about all the money you can save by paying off your project with that deal. Call today, 866-90Nation. This sale ends October 31st, so act now. 866-90Nation or go to windownation.com and let them know that Sylvie sent you.
The game is on the line. You need your best play. What's it going to be? Do you make the call for welding or HVAC? Do it now, and you could complete your education at ETI School of Skilled Trades in as little as 7 months. We offer day and evening classes to fit your schedule, and financial aid is available if you qualify. Visit eticampus.edu or call 888-830-7678 to learn more. ETI, it's your future. Own it.
There are gas stations, there are convenience stores, and then there are the Pride stores. Whether you're low on gas or have a full tank, make your next stop a Pride store. Grab a bite at one of their 3 restaurant concepts, Urban Counter, Taco Urbano, or the Pride Cafe. Delicious food awaits at all. I'm talking burgers, breakfast sandwiches, wraps, tacos, salads, and more, all made with fresh, locally sourced ingredients. The Pride store's not your typical convenience store. Check out one of their 17 locations today. Fuel up, grab a bite, and experience the Pride difference for yourself. Proudly offering BP gasoline with Invigorate.
Postgame continues now on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Meller, and Pat the Designer.
Bears with an early morning win this morning, 35-16 over the Jaguars in London, and they're now 4-2 as they head into the bye. The Packers look like they're going to grab themselves a 4th victory on the season as well. They're on top of the Cardinals, 31-13 right now. And then the Lions get set to take on the Cowboys in Dallas this afternoon. That's a 3:25 kick. And of course, the Vikings are on bye with their undefeated record still. The Minnesota Vikings, along with the Kansas City Chiefs, the only teams at 5-0 and still undefeated on the year. So as we've talked about quite a bit this year, the Bears and the NFC North have themselves a truly the toughest division in football at this point. So, but hey, it's part of the reason you can call it the toughest division in football is because of what the Bears are accomplishing and what they've done in putting together a 3-game win streak, albeit against weaker opponents. They've taken advantage of the teams on their schedule. So good to be a Bears fan today. 312-332-3776. Taking your calls until 3:30 on ESPN 1000. Let's go on out to Dallas and say hello to Paul. Paulie, what's up, man? You're on with Meller and Pat the Designer.
What's going on, Paul?
Hey guys, I just wanted to say it just feels really freaking good to not have to rely on the defense like we did in Tennessee to win games.
Yep.
It's a rare feeling, and I think we should take a beat and just kind of enjoy this moment for a second because having an offense that can score is not something we're used to. And I just really enjoy seeing, we're down 3 guys in the secondary. Defense isn't having to rally to save the offenses behind, so to speak. And it's a rare feeling for us. And I think we should take a minute to enjoy it.
Paulie a little choked up there, wasn't he? Did you hear that? It sounded like you're a little choked up there, dog.
It's nice. No, I'm with you, Paul. It's
I'm
nice.
with you. I love it.
It's nice to finally enter the 21st century, 24 years late, but the Bears have finally understand, or at least they have a GM who kind of maybe it was coming from Kansas City.
Yeah.
The truth is that the league, we were talking about it earlier. There was a flag. It was actually picked up. But in this day and age, the way the league is officiated, it is very difficult to win a championship based solely on your defense. You need your defense to be, opportunistic, which I think is probably more than anything the best way to describe this Bears defense. They are creating, takeaways week after week, whether it's interceptions or fumble recoveries. They've perfected the peanut punch, right? They just missed a second forced fumble when Tremaine Edmonds actually got there a beat too quick because was it Christian Kirk who did not establish himself? I think it was Kirk, right?
He did not establish it.
It
was Christian Kirk, but that's such a gray area. When I saw that, I was like,
like Tremaine Edmonds
turned
was
up the
there.
field. I think that's a fumble, but
he punched the ball out, but he got there so quick that Kirk couldn't establish and make that quote unquote football move to actually establish the catch. So it was only an incompletion, but the Bears did get themselves a fumble recovery, the 6th straight game now where they have had a fumble recovery. They also had another interception in today's game. Josh Blackwell coming up with that one for the Bears, playing in Kyler Gordon's stead today because he left the game with injury. So I'm with you, Paul. It's nice to not have to rely upon your defense to be the only reason why you're winning football games, right? We know they're capable of it from time to time. They showed it against Tennessee in week 1 that they could be the difference, but
it's really hard in the modern era of football to win games on your defense alone. You're going to need your offense to come to play week in and week out. And it seems like, and it feels like the Bears finally have an offense that could go toe to toe with some of the better offenses in the league.
Yeah, you need an offense that can do enough, right? I look at my prime example right now is look at the Kansas City Chiefs over the last couple of years. The offense ain't the same.
No, they've morphed into a team that relies on their defense.
Yes.
But they've got Mahomes.
And you know, like Travis Kelce getting older, you kind of see it in those moments. He's still Travis Kelce, but you go, it's not the same dude that was like streaking down the sideline, finding his way open on every play. There is no Tyreek Hill on this team. They have been decimated by injury to the wide receiver position, right? But like when your defense is only giving up 20 points a game, well, I can get 21. And that's what we haven't had. We've had defenses that are really good. We've had defenses that, hey, listen, we're holding this team right here to 17 points. Last season versus the Packers. Felt like you were never in that game at all because the defense spent the entire game on the field. They only gave up 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't put up 18. This season doesn't feel at all like that. You have a defense still only giving up 17 points. This is now 12 straight games, I believe it is, of the Bears not giving up more than 21 points defensively.
You are correct, sir.
And you have an offense that can score 22. And the last 2 weeks, 32 and 35, right? Like, those are things that we haven't been able to say before, and it's why I feel this is something sustainable, because you don't need the defense to be that good for you to win. But you also need an offense that can put up enough points for it to matter.
And I'm encouraged, too, because just being in the thick of, I don't know if this ultimately results in a playoff berth for the Bears this season, because, again, the NFC North is very difficult. However,
dogfight.
Just being in the playoff race is going to be extremely beneficial to Caleb Williams as a rookie.
Yeah.
And hopefully lay the foundation for great things to come in the future, right? Like where we can be excited as Bears fans about the possibility of year in and year out being, bona fide playoff contenders. That, I hope, is what the bare minimum of what we're seeing, that foundation that's being laid for Caleb and the Bears as we go forward. I think we have a young Bears fan on the line. Henry is in Elmhurst. Henry, what's going on, man? You're on the post-game show, bud.
Well, I just thought that the Bears, and especially Caleb Williams, had a great game. I think it's great that Caleb and Keenan Allen found each other after his return from the IL. But I'm just wondering, do you think that Caleb should try to throw it to DJ a little more? He only had 20 yards and 5 targets out of our 373 total team yards.
Sure, I get you, Henry. You sound like a DJ Moore fantasy owner today who, listen, and the truth is they tried to get DJ that short touchdown. He just came up short at the goal line with that knee, unfortunately. Otherwise, that might have salvaged his day. Look, I'll go back to on the 3rd and 1 call. I'll tell you this. That was a brilliant call by Shane Waldron. Got DJ Moore wide open in the second quarter. That was Caleb Williams's one lone bad throw of the day. He throws an interception, and he honestly was a little bit I think that's where you get back to the growing pains or just the speed of the game and understanding, hey, in the NFL, even though a guy looks like he's wide open, I can't float the ball. I've got to put it there on a laser, on a line, even though it makes, I'll trust that. I'm trying to make it easy on DJ so that he can just easily receive it. But the truth is the floating ball is the reason why it was picked off, because if Caleb is more decisive and fires that ball in there, it's a touchdown for DJ Moore. And again, the only bad throw of the day.
And if you're going to float it by the pylon.
Exactly.
And here's why it's such a bad throw. I mean, it was a terrible pass, and shout out to Henry for calling in, because I think that it does speak to, especially what you just said, right? Some days it's not your day. But you may have a moment in that day. DJ Moore had a moment, right? That would have been a touchdown. And the reason that is such a bad pass is because Caleb Williams is talented enough to float that football to the pylon, that front pylon. He's got the DB underneath beat. All you got to do is worry about the safety that's coming over from the right side or left side of the field, trying to get over on DJ Moore. He's going to get there to try and be a part of the play. But if you put that football far enough away from DJ where he doesn't have to stop, he can play it in stride, he's a good enough wide receiver to bring that ball in. That's why it's such a bad pass, because I know he can make that throw. I've seen him make throws like that consistently in college.
No doubt.
And we've started to see him kind of do that with that touch in the pros, right? The 2 touchdown passes to Keenan Allen, both really good touch on that football, shorter passes, but still really good touch. So I know he has that in him. It's just a matter of being able to understand, okay, this is where I need to put that ball in the moment.
Yeah, and I will say this, Henry, better days are ahead for DJ Moore. He had 4 catches for 20 yards, was targeted 5 times. Obviously, the one was an interception. Better days are ahead for DJ Moore, but what I will say is on the season, DJ Moore leads the Bears with 31 catches. He's got 314 yards. I do think we'll see that yards per catch creep up a little more as the season progresses. He's got 3 touchdowns, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if he actually ends up having less yardage than he had last season. Justin Fields funneled the ball to DJ Moore almost exclusively at the expense of almost every other receiver on the field. When you've got guys like Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, and Cole Kmet, and also DeAndre Swift as an option in the passing game, you're going to have more mouths to feed. And I think just naturally, DJ Moore's stats will probably go down. But I think for Bears fans, that's going to be a good thing, because I think it makes it that much more difficult for defenses to try and stop, DJ Moore with bracket coverage. You can go ahead and try and do that, but that's just going to leave guys like Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and Cole Kmet open over the middle of the field. So, ultimately, Bears fans above your fantasy players. That's all I can say, right? Like, go Bears. We're Bears fans through and through, and you'll have that much more, I think, enthusiasm and joy when your football team wins over your fantasy team. I'm Jeff Meller. He's Pat the Designer. We're hanging out with you until 3:30. I do want to let Bears fans hear from Matt Eberflus before we get out of here, what he thought of the win. Again, Matt Eberflus will also be joining Cap and J Hood tomorrow at 9:20 after the Bears land in their trip back from London. But up next, the other coach sounded like he was a man who knew that he was, in all likelihood, coaching one of his last games for his football team. We'll let you hear what Doug Peterson had to say at halftime. Sounded like a dead man walking to me right here on the home of the Bears, ESPN 1000.
The new home of the Bears. This is the new home of the Bears. Your head coach, Matt Eberflus. Exclusive on Cap and J Hood. Tomorrow morning at 8:20 on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
With today's stress and uncertainty, drug and alcohol overdoses have drastically increased and taken too many lives. Don't risk losing someone you love. The problem may be worse than you think, and it won't get better unless you take action. You owe it to your family, and you owe it to yourself to get the help needed today before it's too late. Call Gateway Foundation, 855-925-GATE now. Gateway is here to help you and those you care about. Call 855-925-GATE. You can make a difference.
The game is on the line. You need your best play. What's it going to be? Do you make the call for welding or HVAC? Do it now, and you could complete your education at ETI School of Skilled Trades in as little as 7 months. We offer day and evening classes to fit your schedule, and financial aid is available if you qualify. Visit eticampus.edu or call 888-830-7678 to learn more. ETI, it's your future. Own it.
Hoping to remodel your home? Looking to build an addition? Think Design First Builders. At Design First Builders, the relationship they build with you will continue to grow throughout the entire remodeling process. From the first encounter, to the new countertop, to all the finishing touches. Design First Builders will help guide you every step of the way. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. DesignFirstBuilders.com. That's DesignFirstBuilders.com.
Looking for a destination where everything you need is right at your fingertips? Look no further than Rosemont. It's all here. Celebrate the most spooktacular time of year with the annual Crawloween Bar Crawl on October 25th from 6 to 10 p.m. Tickets are available at parkwaybankpark.com and include bar crawl admission, drink specials, and 2 tickets to Zany's Comedy Club. Discover the convenience, excitement, and attractions that make Rosemont truly special. Because when it comes to finding everything you're looking for, it's all here in Rosemont.
Move your business forward with People's Bank. We know every business is unique. Whether expanding, streamlining, or seeking cash management solutions, our dedicated business bankers and treasury management experts customize the right financial solutions for you. With local decision-making, personal service, and a commitment to your success, we're more than just your bank. We're your partner. Our renovated Midlothian Banking Center is now open. Visit ibankpeoples.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
This is Jeff Joniak here to tell you about Ego Power Plus. Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Take it from me. I love the 22-inch Select Cut self-propelled lawnmower. It cuts my lawn in a single charge. Ego delivers the power and performance of gas, but without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Ego's patented 56-volt arc lithium battery technology is the heart and soul of the system and what powers game-changing torque needed for demanding jobs. Learn more at egopowerplus.com. Ego, power beyond belief.
Postgame continues now on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Meller, and Pat the Designer.
Welcome back to the Postgame Show. I'm Jeff Meller along with Pat the Designer. J-Mac off today. He was in early for the pregame coverage, and we played with you earlier his interview with Caleb Williams on the postgame show. So we sprang our fullback a little bit early today. He'll be back with us when the Bears take on the Commanders after the bye week. He'll be back with us for the postgame show. But Meller and Pat with you today, hanging out till 3:30. This stood out to me because Doug Peterson, as the Jaguars entered halftime trailing 14-3, the NFL Network, of course, was broadcasting the game, and Steve Weish was on the sidelines for the Jags. And this one stood out to me. This sounded like a head coach who knew that his time with Jacksonville is nearing an end.
All right, Coach Peterson, first quarter, the offense was clicking. Second quarter really stalled out. What happened?
Yeah, we just self-inflicted wounds. You know, we had some false starts in there. We haven't been able to execute. You know, we just have to kind of get in here and regroup. And, it's a great opportunity in the second half to start with the ball and see what we do.
Okay, what do you tell your defense here? The Bears really got rolling there in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, we got to keep playing. We've had a couple of coverage assignments, and those are things that have kind of plagued us all season so far. And we got to get in here, clean that up, and, just execute better.
Yeah, the pause, not a whole lot of answers there. You know, I don't really expect much during the in-game interviews in and out of halftime, but obviously he doesn't have many answers right now. I think they were certainly hoping that, especially when you consider how the Jags started the game, that first possession, they had an opportunity after holding the Bears. Was it 3 and out? I think it was, right? The Bears
3 and out on the opening drive, yeah.
Yeah, and then the Jags come down with an opportunity to potentially push it in. You saw that stat creep across the line that the Jags had not scored a touchdown in 10 consecutive opening drives, make it 11 after today.
Yeah.
The Bears do hold them to a field goal, but that in itself felt like a bit of a win for the Bears defense and the team as a whole, because again, the Jags put together a 14-play drive, but it stalls out with a field goal. And then the Bears get 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, especially the second quarterback to close out the half on the heels of that interception that Caleb Williams had thrown that we've talked about a little bit today. So then to bounce back and then, score those 14 unanswered points heading into halftime, you could tell listening to Doug Peterson that he was not feeling very good about where his team was at. Conversely, listen to this. Listen to Matt Eberflus coming out of the tunnel at halftime with Stacey Dales. And then on cue, as Matt Eberflus is talking about, quote unquote, honoring the ball, that's his little catchphrase. Yeah. You'll hear as he's talking about that on cue, the Jags are fumbling the ball away. Evan Engram is fumbling the ball directly to the Bears. Listen to this on the NFL Network. Stacey Dales with Bears head coach Matt Eberflus.
Matt Eberflus, you virtually lost your headset getting the timeout on that last drive. What was your reaction to the touchdown drive?
It was great. Great execution by the offense, and had some really good explosive passes in there. And we used our timeouts, and it was great.
How much has Cole Kmet worked at long snapper?
Every Thursday, he works at it. Yes, he does. He's done a great job. I think he might be the first guy in history to have 2 touchdowns and 2 snaps.
And just lastly, great point, Coach. What was your message to your entire group coming out in the second half?
Yeah, this is our second half. We got to honor the football on both sides, and we got to keep doing a good job on third down, and just play good situational ball.
Great, thanks, Coach.
Well, there's some situational ball as that is being ruled a catch and fumble by Evan Ingram, returned by Elijah Hicks.
As they were playing the interview that they had just recorded with Eberflus moments earlier, as they're playing it, they can't even wrap it up before the Jags are fumbling away their chance at making it a game. And then the Bears would go on and convert a touchdown off of that turnover. Also, another huge factor for the Bears offense, taking advantage of those takeaways that the defense is giving them, right? They're putting their foot on the opponent's throat, and that's good to see. Again, the Jaguars are now 1-5 after their loss today, but no apologies from the Bears or Bears fans, because you can only beat the teams that are on your schedule that week, and they've done so the last 3 weeks, and they've gotten themselves to 4-2 as they head to the bye and back into playoff contention, which is great to see.
If you're Doug Peterson, are you like, all right, what more can I do? I mean, he schemed up. Let's be real. He schemed up. It wouldn't have counted for as many points, but probably 4 drop touchdowns.
Dude, you're
like, if you're Doug Peterson, like, as the offensive guy, you got to come out of this and go, what do I do? What do I do?
Here's the thing, too. It's funny because you look at the box score, right? Gabe Davis caught 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But he also dropped
3 of them.
like it, and that's what happens. Bad teams, bad front offices will spend money on players that should not probably be getting it. And Gabe Davis is exactly that.
Yeah.
He's still living off of that 4-touchdown playoff game that he had against the Bills when the Chiefs, the Chiefs came back and beat them.
Yeah.
But he had a monster day. Gabe Davis is, not a consistent wide receiver. Brian Thomas also dropped a huge touchdown pass. And then Trevor Lawrence missed Brian Thomas on what should have been, a touchdown that ended up hitting TJ Edwards' ass.
Yeah.
And you know what? Hey, you'll take that. The old deflection by TJ Edwards. It was, listen, no apologies for that either. But the Jags, a bad football team, missing opportunities when they were there for them. And then the Bears taking advantage of the opportunities that fall in their lap. As we said, the Evan Ingram fumble right there that they take advantage of, go right down and score and really put the game out of reach at that point. So, it's funny to listen to the difference. Doug Peterson saying, we're going to get the ball back. Hopefully we can do something with it. And then as we come out of that halftime, Matt Eberflus then saying, we got to honor the ball. And as they're playing it for you, the Jaguars are fumbling the ball away to the Bears. So it was a perfect encapsulation of the season for both teams. And hopefully the Bears can use this as a springboard going forward. They get the bye. Hopefully you can have, Jaquan Brisker, who had the concussion. You understand why they didn't want to take him across on a long flight overseas, especially being in concussion protocol. So the Bears get the win. Hopefully he can get through concussion protocol, get back, be right in a couple of weeks when they take on the Commanders. Hopefully Kyler Gordon, his hamstring injury, hopefully that won't be too, it won't be too significant. And then, of course, Tyreek Stevenson. You hope that if you can get these guys back and healthy in a week or two, all of a sudden, in the meatier part of your schedule, hopefully the Bears can have good things going forward.
Yeah, no, and going up against, you got 2 weeks here to rest. You hope that Kyler Gordon, hamstring-wise, can come back as well. But you've got a quarterback in here that versus a good defense has looked solid today. He's looked like a rookie quarterback. We're talking about Jaden Daniels here. He's looked like a rookie quarterback versus a really good defense. But he still looked solid, and so you can't go into there just thinking, well, it's a rookie. We'll be able to get to him. We'll be fine if we don't have Tyreek and Jaquan, and we'll be able to move past it. We got all this. You want to go into that as full strength as you possibly can, because not only just for the fact that, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels storyline is there, but a win here could set the tone on who gets leg up for that Offensive Rookie of the Year award.
Yeah, and to that point, too, when you talk about legs up, the Washington Commanders and Bears are both, assuming that, again, there's a minute 10 left right now, the Commanders are trailing by a touchdown and Baltimore has the ball as they look to try and run out the clock here. So if the Commanders fall to 4-2, that's huge because if the Bears, again, playoffs are on the line, this could be a head-to-head game that is very important for who ends up maybe getting that 6th or 7th playoff spot, right? So we'll see what actually ends up happening here. We'll see if the Ravens, I guess, as a Bears fan, we're rooting for the Ravens today because, again, the Commanders have put themselves into that conversation as a viable playoff contender. So we'll see if that game could be huge. The Commanders do have the Panthers next week before they take on the Bears. The Bears get the bye, so they'll have that extra week to set their focus on the Commanders, while the Commanders will have to battle the Panthers next week. 312-332-3776. Hanging out with you for another half hour here on the Bears flagship station. I'm Jeff Meller. He's Pat the Designer. We'll also let you hear from Bears head coach Matt Eberflus, what he had to say in the postgame, and your calls. Doing that all next right here on the ESPN 1000 Bears Radio Network.
ESPN Chicago.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of The Pen, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing kit. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, The Pen is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
Welcome back to Bears Postgame. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Meller, and Pat the Designer on the new home of the
Every 40
Chicago
seconds,
Bears,
a child is reported
ESPN
missing.
Chicago.
That's
All right, you got a mix of the open and a little PSA there. I'm Jeff Meller, along with Pat the Designer. We're hanging out with you for another half hour talking about a Bears victory in London. An early morning affair. The Bears beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 35-16 to move to 4-2 before they head to the bye this week. And then they will have the Commanders out of there. The Commanders have just gone final. They lose to the Baltimore Ravens. They're not really a rival. It hasn't really become a rivalry just yet, but you wonder if it actually does become one now that Jaden Daniels is kind of making himself a household name. The Ravens, though, the incumbent, if you will, beat the Washington Commanders 30-23 in that one. So the Commanders fall to 4-2. They have the Panthers next week before the Bears head to Washington to take on the Commanders after their bye week. The Packers right now are beating the Arizona Cardinals. Looks like they are on their way to making themselves 4-2 as well right now because the Packers are beating the Cardinals 34-13. Jordan Love threw himself 4 touchdowns, just like Caleb Williams did today. There's 2 minutes to go in that game. Elsewhere, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on top of the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome in that NFC South affair. Bucs are on top 37-27 there. The Colts beating the Titans right now 20-17 in the fourth quarter. A minute
to go in that game. And then the Texans are bludgeoning the New England Patriots in Drake May's debut. The Texans are on top of that one, 41-21. The Pats have the ball, but too little too late in that game. So also keeping our eye on the Lions and Cowboys. That's a 3:25 kick in Dallas. The Steelers are in Vegas today. The Broncos host the Chargers. And then in the final afternoon game, the Falcons head to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Cincy and the Giants on Sunday Night Football. And then, of course, Bills and Jets for Monday Night Football. The Jets, of course, have themselves a new head coach after Robert Saleh's firing. Aaron Rodgers will take the reign as the head coach of the New York Jets.
That's pretty much what I saw there.
Jeff Ulbrich will be taking the interim tag there in New York. All right, so I am Jeff Meller. He's Pat the designer. J Mac on. He's getting the day off today. Not day off. He worked early today with the pregame show, so he'll be back when we get after it against the Commanders in a couple of weeks. But we are talking with you. Let's try and head on out to Evanston and say hello to Ray. What's going on, Ray?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Hope you guys are doing good this afternoon. So I got two takeaways from today that are positive, right? The one, obviously, I'm still worried about the O-line talent-wise, but one thing that I'm happy to see last week and especially this week is you're not shooting yourself in the foot and, false starts, holding penalties that are stopping drives because, talent is one thing, but those are mental mistakes that you can fix. And it's good to see that they've changed their tune compared to the first couple games of the year. Second, the drive to me that really stood out today was the drive in the second half that we scored on when Jacksonville kept shooting themselves in the foot, getting all those penalties. And for me, I look at that. That's what good teams do, right? If you give good teams those opportunities, they capitalize and score, as opposed to a team where you're getting all these breaks, you can't punch it in, and just saying maybe Jacksonville goes down, gets a touchdown, and the momentum kind of swings in that game. But I thought that was really good to see that they took advantage of the other team's mistakes and they capitalized with a touchdown. You guys do a great job every week. Thank you, and I'll listen for your response.
Thanks, Ray. Appreciate it, man.
No, that was the point in the game, and maybe this season, where I was 100% in on, Ryan Poles made the right call. Ryan Poles moving on from Justin Fields was the right call, because how many of those situations last season did you see us not get in the end zone on things like that, right? A team just keeps shooting itself in the foot and you go, take advantage, and you kick a field goal.
Yeah.
And you go, all right, we got points there, but it's not 7. That was the point for me where I was like, no, he made the right call there, because Caleb Williams was not good on that drive. Got probably 3 or 4 opportunities where the Jaguars just kind of were like, we're just going to make sure that you get another chance to put this ball in the end zone.
Again. Yep.
And Caleb Williams figures it out throughout the drive, which sometimes you got to do. And all of a sudden you're in the end zone with a touchdown and you're coming back down on the other end going, all right, what a great situation for us to be in now. We feel so much more confident coming out of that play. That was, for me, a very big, stamp on you got it. Not only just you've got a quarterback, but you've got a quarterback that can get through the struggles and then on the flip side of it, figure out how to overcome the struggles.
This will be interesting to see how the Bears do over this next stretch of games here. The next month is going to be very critical to, if they're going to truly make a run here at the playoffs. They're going to have to, I think, at the very least, go 3-1 over the next 4. Maybe, just maybe, if you can get right and build on what Caleb's done offensively, maybe you can set your sights on 4-0. The Commanders, you get, again, you're coming off the bye, so it's a road game, but nevertheless, the Commanders' defense is a defense that has struggled this season. Despite Jaden Daniels' success, they're a defense that you can sometimes have your way with. So the Bears get the extra week to prepare for them, while the Commanders have to deal with the Panthers. Again, it's not a tough, opponent for the Commanders, but they're going to have less time to worry about the Bears, whereas the Bears can truly focus on the Commanders. So you get a road game, but again, you're going to have the opportunity to prep for that one. Then you go to Arizona, and again, the Cardinals have been up and down this year. They've been plucky at times, but we saw today the Packers, again, a defense that, like, this in some ways plays to the Bears' strength, right? If you're questioning any unit on the Bears right now, it's definitely the offense over the defense.
Right.
But the last couple of weeks, the Bears have taken advantage of lesser defenses. So you've got a couple of games here in the Commanders and Cardinals where if your offense can just kind of, hold serve, your defense, you would think, can take advantage of those opportunities. Yeah. Then you go back to Soldier Field and you get the Patriots, which right now looks like the most winnable game remaining on the Bears' schedule. So and then it all sets up for divisional play when the Packers will go and play the Bears at Soldier Field for their first NFC North game of the year. So the next 4 games, again, it's going to go a long way into determining what the Bears' playoff, expectancy is this year. But at 4-2, I laid out, I can definitely see a scenario where in a month from now, Pat, as they're heading into that game against the Packers, where they could be 7-2.
Yeah, your expectation, and listen, it's an expectation they set. Your expectation is 7-2, at worst 6-3.
Yep.
You should not lose 2 of these games.
No,
not with how this defense is played.
Not if you're truly going to consider yourself a playoff team, right?
Now, just the fact that you've got a Cardinals team that no MHJ today makes it a little more difficult, but that offensively has been okay, but has not been dominating. No. And they've been okay against some of the subpar defenses that you've gone up against, right? You've got a Patriots team that I don't even know what the point of putting Drake May in was. Like, you should have just rolled out the season with Brissett in there, because it's not like he was going to go out there and be phenomenal in his first few games. Like, I guess you wanted him to get used to NFL speed, but I'm so tired of coaches like half doing it. It's like either sit him the year or play him the year, because all you did was take 5 games away from him where he could have gotten used to NFL speed. That's a game you should be able to still go in there and win, unless Drake May hits an absolute heater and figures out how to play in the NFL over the next couple of weeks. And then you got that Commanders game. That's the one that you think is the toughest one. That, to me, is one that is a real test for this team, because not only seeing this game here, this was a big game for me, the Commanders versus Baltimore. It was like, okay, what's he look like against a defense that I know can kill you? And I know the offense isn't going to leave them out to dry or leave them out there to die for, half of the game. I think the Browns, when they played them the week before, the offense only mustered up 3 drives that had more than 5 plays in it. So the defense spent 90% of the time on the field. They're gassed. Okay, you're not going to get that out of the Ravens. And you see the Ravens come away with the win. So over these next 3 weeks, I think you get a statement game in there, another one you can stamp and say, this feels big for the Bears. And then you got 2 games in there that it feels like, if you don't win these games, all right, we got to have some more conversations. We got to, how'd you find a way to lose this one?
Yeah, no doubt about it. 312-332-3776 here for another 20 minutes, hanging out till 3:30, the post-game show. I'm Jeff Meller. He's Pat the Designer. Up next, we'll let you hear from the Bears head coach, Matt Eberflus, what he thought about the Bears win. And if we've got time, I'll let you hear a snippet from the commissioner, Roger Goodell. He joined us on this radio station earlier today. He weighed in on the Bears' future stadium. We'll let you hear what he had to say about that coming up next.
This is ESPN Chicago, WNVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Here comes the boom. The Chicago Bears podcast. Here comes the boom. If you aren't listening, you're not getting the whole story. Join host Pat the Designer with special guests and guest host daily. See it or hear it now on the ESPN Chicago app or wherever you like to pod. Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Sylvie for Window Nation. Not only is October the best sports month on the calendar, it's also the best time to buy windows from my friends at Window Nation. Call them today at 866-90Nation. The weather's about to turn. You need these energy efficient windows from Window Nation. Don't let your heating bills skyrocket because the heat escapes your home and the cold air comes in. I've saved 30% year over year on my energy bills thanks to my new windows from Window Nation. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free with no limit. The more you buy, the more you're going to save, but they're never going to upsell you. Another great reason why October's the best month to buy. Right now, no interest or payments for 24 months. Think about all the money you can save by paying off your project with that deal. Call today, 866-90-NATION. This sale ends October 31st, so act now. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com and let them know that Sylvie sent you.
Picture this. 5 blocks to the office, you're wearing layers of clothes. It's bone-chilling cold. If only a friend could tell you about Bluetooth-powered heated apparel. Hi, I'm Adam, your friend. And I'm telling you about mobile warming by Field Shear. Heated apparel with temperature control at your fingertips. Check out all of the mobile warming options, socks, gloves, jackets at fieldshear.com. And we're friends, so here's an exclusive offer just for you. 25% off site-wide. Just use promo code ESPN25 at checkout. That's ESPN25 at fieldshear.com.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway, exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
You were born to move forward, to reach higher, grow stronger, and strive for more. At People's Bank, we are dedicated to advancing your financial journey alongside you. Choose a partner that moves with you, because standing still isn't an option. With 26 locations across Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana, People's Bank is where better banking continues to evolve. Our renovated Midlothian Banking Center is now open. Visit ibankpeoples.com to learn more. People's Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites.
Postgame continues now on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Meller, and Pat the Designer.
Closing things out here on the post-game show. I'm Jeff Meller along with Pat the Designer. J-Mac was in earlier today, so he's off of the post today, but he'll be back with us when the Bears take on the Commanders after their bye week, a bye week that they head into 4-2 after their 35-16 throttling of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Good win for the Bears. The Bears head coach, Matt Eberflus, who will be joining Cap and J Hood tomorrow at 9:20, fresh off his return trip from London. The head coach talked about the Bears win after the game today.
First of all, I want to thank the fans. The fans were great all week. We had a big group out there in the stadium. So my hat's off to them. Bears fans always travel well. And that was proven again today. And then really thankful to the staff. Our logistics group, Kyle and Jay, and then security, Tarpey and Pete did a wonderful job all week. Team Ed and our equipment did a wonderful job as well. Grounds crew, Ken Marock had that field, our practice field all set. And our performance team working with our players, getting them ready to go. Salazar and Jimmy Arthur. And then Andre Tucker is our trainer, does a wonderful job. As well. But again, most of all, thankful to the players. They did a really good job of leadership. We were out there, in the countryside a little bit, and but it was good. It was more like a training camp feel for us. And we're really big into building our relationships, with each other in the springtime and the summertime, and that paid off. Guys did a really good job the whole week working the plans. The coordinators did a nice job of that as well, getting those plans implemented. So they did a nice job there. In terms of the game evaluation, I thought was really good complimentary football during the course of us, taking the ball away on defense and scoring those 14 points off of those takeaways. A couple of good 2-minute drives there, really good 2-minute drive at the half for the offense. And then a 4-minute at the end of the game, to expire it, waste some time there and do a good job with that. The DBs that came in, that we had some injuries. The DBs that came in there, Blackwell came in the middle of the game for Kyler. And obviously Jalen Jones did a nice job. Elijah Hicks did a nice job coming in there. And that's the partnership they have with their coaches. The coaches got them ready to go. We're always ready to go in terms of the depth part of it. and that's a good job of coaching those guys as well, but really good job of playing. A couple of guys had really good games. Obviously, Caleb had a nice game. I always look at the QBR, and man, that was good. It was in the 120s again. Really good, solid work there by him in terms of distributing the ball to Cole. Cole had some really nice catches, a couple of touchdowns. First man in the history of ball to get 2 touchdowns and snap it right afterward. Maybe, I don't know. But then Keenan made some really nice catches out there, some tight windows. And, I thought our D-line really rushed well today, got some really good pressures in there. Linebackers, those guys are always playing hot. So it's a good day by all of them. And then working into the bye week, so we got the bye week here. Guys will come in. We'll evaluate this game, get it all cleaned up. And those guys really need to do a good job of taking care of their minds, their bodies, and their spirits to come back for our next rack of games that we have leading into this schedule. So with that, I'll take questions.
Matt, how important was it for Caleb and for you guys as a team for him to continue that progress that he's been making and that momentum that he's had?
Yeah, it's always good, right? That's consistency. You make the progress and you want it to be linear, but it's not always that way. But we feel that, he took a step in the right direction. Our football team took a step in the right direction of, playing that complementary football and him be able to distribute the ball and operate. We ran some, no huddle and some different things in there where he had to operate there at the line and did a nice job today.
How about his third down plays today when you get in those 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7? They're not going to be highlight plays, but they're kind of the gritty, necessary plays that you need to keep going.
Yeah, you need those to keep the drives alive. We help expire the game at the end there with one of those slants, and it's important that even 3rd and 4th down, we're going to go for those things in the quad zone area. And, the plays got to be good, which Shane held up some good plays today, and they got to execute them. So overall, it was good.
Coach, you mentioned Caleb's continued growth to start the season. What is it that you've seen from him that separates him from other rookie quarterbacks that you've seen throughout your career?
Just his ability to learn, and grow and want to get better. He knows that he's always working and improving and growing. He knows that it's going to be this year's a big year for him to be able to learn the game up here. And, he's always been good enough in terms of the talent and those things, but he's learning the game and learning our offense and learning our skill sets that we have and learning new things that they can do. So there's a lot. Our guys have wide skill sets, so we want to utilize those guys' skill sets to be able to widen that so we can really expand our offense as we go through the year. So he's doing a good job with that.
Coach, how is Kyler Gordon?
Kyler's, so I'll go back to the injury report. So we reported a couple. So we got Kyler Gordon's hamstring, so he ended up feeling a hamstring right there in one of those plays in the second half. And like I said, Blackwell did a nice job coming in. And then our long snapper, Scott Daly's got a knee. So we'll see where that is as well as we get back to Hallis Hall tomorrow.
Kyler seemed like he was moving around okay after the game. Is your early impression of that it's minor?
We'll see. I'm hopeful that's what it is. I am. Kyler's a really good player for us. He plays at a hot spot for us at the nickel. So, yeah, we're hopeful.
Keenan Allen, the stat line aside, the production aside, the role he played, the effect he had in your passing game, is that what you envisioned when you guys brought him in?
Yeah, we've all seen it, right? He's had a long career. He's made a lot of plays. He's always open, that guy, right? I've tried to double cover him in front, behind, sideways. It doesn't work. He's always open. So he's an exciting player.
Coach, you mentioned the
I'll come back to you.
Sorry, Coach, you mentioned the fans there at the beginning, and there was definitely the feel of a home game out there with the atmosphere and the noise. How much of an impact would you say that had on your team's performance?
I think a big impact. It always is. I know this wasn't considered a home game, but I think we went 9 straight now at home. So it's always a big impact. Our fans in Chicago do a great job of that, are loud and always into the game, and they impact it. It's very difficult for the other team.
Brian Thomas has had an impressive start to his rookie career, but he had 3 catches today. Mm-hmm. How did you manage to neutralize him so effectively?
Yeah, he's a heck of a player. He really is. I watched a lot of tape on him during the draft process, and man, he's good. He's fast. He can get the deep ball, and he's going to have an outstanding career, for himself and for the Jags. So he's exciting to watch, and in terms of the 3 catches, that's NFL ball, right? That's the way it goes sometimes.
And is there a difference between Josh Blackwell coming in a pinch and Cole Kmet coming in a pinch like he did? Because Josh does that all week, and Cole probably not very much. Is that from your perspective? Is that a little bit of a different? Is there a difference?
Yeah, Cole. We practice that every Thursday. He gets the short snaps and long